There's nothing left to talk about. I mean, there's plenty left to talk about. There's nothing left to talk about for looking at next week or anything like that. It's the Pucknologists. It's the last one of the season. Let's fucking go.
It's over.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
And the Canadians win it.
Oh my. All right. And of course, if you want to be part of the show, you can hit us up on all the social media platforms. You can get your say in the super chat. You can also subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. Just because the Pucknologists may be done for the season after tonight doesn't mean the party at Teal Town USA is stopped. We've got draft coverage coming up. We got all kinds of nonsense to keep you occupied. Just you can't have a week in review if there's no week to review. That's just how this shit works.
Oh,
right?
Hey now.
All right.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing in the chat already. So Shane heard something about Reginda not being happy?
Yes.
Well, how would you be? You could never get any fucking ice time.
Yes. That was a thing that happened. I forgot to put
Poor
that.
guy.
We'll talk about that later. All right. I mean, we are here. It is the final week of the season in review. The Sharks actually had a decent record in a week where I was just fucking lose, morons. They refused to.
Well, I tweeted it somewhere midweek or whatever. I just said, once they were mathematically eliminated, I don't give a shit if they win or lose. I just want to see Macklin get the record. And
right.
boy, did that work out.
Yes, did it ever.
Man.
The final record of the San Jose Sharks was 39, 35, and 8. That was good for 86 points, a 5.24 points percentage. They finished 5th in the Pacific. They were 4 points out of the wild card. But as you know, it was 34 points over last season, which I think if you would have told me at the start of the season that was going to be true, I would have been ecstatic. Not even.
I think most people would have been bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have been ecstatic. I don't think I'd look at that point total and be like, oh, and they were 4 points out of a wild card spot. Like that, I wouldn't. That I would have told you was bullshit.
Right.
But to their credit,
we'll get to some things that were said at the beginning of the season and what worked and what proved to be accurate and what was like, whoa, swing and a miss.
I need to fix my camera here. I keep thinking off of it. They had 39 wins this season. As you wrote down here, 39 wins was the total of the previous 2 seasons combined.
Yeah.
I mean,
big step
all
forward.
Things consider, I mean, this was a good season.
Absolutely.
Did we get to watch playoff hockey? No. But I think when you look at the things that Macklin Celebrini did this year, and not just on NHL ice. I mean, he went to the Olympics with Team Canada and led Team Canada in goal scoring at 19, which is ridiculous to think about. Like other things, if you would have told me at the start of the season, I would have laughed at you. I probably would have laughed if you said Macklin's on the team, to be completely honest, at the start of the season.
Well, the thing that gets me is there's a part of me that really, really, really wishes that Olympic performance factored in to Hart voting. Because, I mean, if you toss that, log on the fire, you have to give it to him. I'm so just sickened by this caveat. Even Elliot said, if they had made the playoffs, I'd have been my number 1 vote. You coward. There's no need for that caveat. There was I will die on this hill. There was no player more important to their team, and that's what the trophy is about. There was no one more important to their team than Celebrini. Just
if
no
not
one.
For Celebrini, this team is Vancouver this year.
Yeah, they're bottom 3. Vancouver. I mean, that's a really. It's a really low bar to get under, I would say. But I mean, without Celebrini, and we've mentioned this before. It's like McDavid plays with Draisaitl. He's got Bouchard on there. That's in the Norris talks. You have McKinnon playing with the best defenseman in the league, and there's a couple other people in Colorado. Not too bad.
Oh,
and then you've got Kucherov. Yeah. Plays with one of the best goalies in the league. So it's just like, are you kidding me? Who does Celebrini play with?
Will Smith.
Right? And he has twice as many points as him.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, give me, and the fact that it's...
And I don't mean that as like a knock to Will Smith, right? Like, I love Will Smith, man, but like...
Will Smith is not Leon Draisaitl.
Correct, yes.
Leon
Draisaitl, he is not.
Yeah, so it's kind of just for him, if he doesn't win it, man, there should, we riot. There should be just teal in the streets if that does not happen. And I really, really hope that all the writers who vote have the balls to publish their ballots.
I mean, they generally do. The thing that really pisses me off about this is just like, again, it just goes back. Yes, okay, fine. He couldn't drag them single-handedly, and it would have been single-handedly basically into the playoffs, but like he dragged them so close. And the fact that like, because they did get over the finish line in a team sport, like this isn't basketball, man. You can't have one guy doesn't carry you around. Like you still need a team around you.
5 points. 5 fucking, but if they win 3 more games.
Yeah.
And again, it's just that stupid caveat. If they would have made it, he would have had my vote. Then he should have had it anyway.
Then you should have had it regardless. I agree.
Yeah. But all right.
Yeah, I know. Look, and Tiger's saying like it's going to be McKinnon. And I'm not trying to I'm not taking away anything from Nathan McKinnon. I think
he has too much talent around him.
He's an absolute fucking dog in the best possible way, right? Like I don't like the idea that it was Celebrini, except no, it can't be now because they didn't make the playoffs. When like,
yeah, it's a cop out.
It's not. It is kind of a cop out, but it's fine.
Yeah, publish your ballots, cowards. That's all I'm saying. All right, you want to get to the Preds game?
Yeah, let's get to the Preds game. So, in the most important game of the season, part 712. Actually,
you're right.
The San Jose Sharks beat the Nashville Predators finally.
Oh God!
Too little, too late. Although it did take the Predators out, so I mean, small victories, right? This was a 3-2 victory. Nedeljkovic gets the start. Igor Chernyshov scores. Celebrini adds a couple, including an empty netter. Ned was good.
Dude, Ned was fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, a 926 and hold on.
Yes.
Sorry. Evidently one of my most troublesome fur baby just like knocked over some shit. Anywho, if we're still on.
We are still on,
yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. I feel like when Chernyshov got benched last week, he took that shit personal because he's just been on a fucking tear ever since. Yeah,
it's so crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, Ryan Warsofsky, I don't understand sometimes. Like, what are we doing? But I think it's good when a player like that gets that though and kind of gets the message. Because there are some players who do not get the message.
Yeah, I mean they're all over the age of 30, evidently.
Some of them are, yeah. Some of them certainly are.
Yeah, I thought it was odd that they went with Ned because Askey did actually post good numbers the previous game against the worst team in the league.
I think at this point they were just so with the plus being over, I think they were just even splitting them between. There was no reason to work either guy over.
Yeah, but I would have thought that it would have been a case of, especially because they just recently referred to Askey as, he's our number one guy. He's, goalie of the future. He's the man. And then the next day, okay, Ned is starting. So I was a little shocked that Askey didn't get 2 of 3 of the final three. And, if you go back to the beginning of the season, Ned started the season and he finished it.
Yeah.
So if that, to me, in itself is a message to Askarov, so you better figure it out, Chief.
I don't know. We're going to talk about this later.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some things on this topic because I do think we'll come back to it.
All right.
I don't want to derail this thing already.
Yeah. Cagnoni, gets his first look of the season paired with Desharnais and runs point on the top unit.
But and apparently, this drove not because he got it, because that's if you're bringing up Luca Cagnoni from the Barracuda, this is exactly what you want him to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't do this with Sam Dickinson,
right?
You know what I mean? I don't want to come off as I'm unhappy that Keg's caught up and gets this opportunity, because this is 100% what he should be doing. And it makes me wonder if the thing was oh, well, we got to teach Dickinson how to play some defense first before he can have his cookie on. What are we doing if that's the case? You know what I mean? Is this
you
what
better start teaching? You better teach him something.
Is this what we're doing though? Because Cagnoni comes up and right away, and again, that's where he's going to thrive. So it makes perfect sense to put Kegs on the power play, and I'm glad they did. But it does make me question what the hell we've done with Sam Dickinson all year.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't mind seeing a coaching change next year, and that's not particular to Warsofsky, but the special teams were kind of bleh this year. And, defense, and granted, not a lot of groceries to cook a meal with. I get that.
Yeah.
But some of the decisions, I just kind of, I don't know. I question what, there's been plenty of times where we were asking, what the hell are we doing here?
Right.
But, either way, this is a good game. Sharks score on their first shot of the game in the second period. Again, Cherney has his third in 2 games, and it comes from the line that I was championing a week ago of, Cherney, Misa, and Eklund. And then Celebrini off a beauty pass. Chernyshov with a 3-point game, and it just made you feel like, God, where's this team been for the last little bit? Because, they just got it fed to them the previous 4 or 5 games. So I don't understand where this came from, but I was happy to see it.
I think the game stopped mattering, right? By this point, they were already done, basically. LA needed a point to eliminate them from the playoffs. They took the Predators down with them. I think a part of it was the games just got easy again.
Yeah, maybe. But the Preds did have something to play for.
The Preds had way more to play for than the Sharks did, for sure.
Yeah.
And them not showing up. I don't know, but I was really, after the way the Preds had played, I was really unimpressed by Nashville this game. From a neutral perspective, just objectively speaking, I was really shocked how flat Nashville played this game, given how they dragged themselves from basically the abyss back right up to the edge of the playoffs, and then had nothing left to get them over the. It's weird. This is not a Nashville Predators podcast, obviously, but just from an observation, I was really surprised how flat.
What are you futzing with over there? I heard something.
I'm sorry. I must have. I apologize.
Either way, it was a nice way for them to finally respond against Nashville. But I do find it kind of funny that the Sharks basically knocked them out of any playoff hopes. And it just reminded me of that when it comes, for some reason, when playoffs are on the line, the Sharks just own Nashville.
Yeah.
I think they've played. Didn't they play the Preds twice, in back-to-back playoff series, and swept them once, and the other one that was 4-1. So it's just.
That was a long time. It was pre-Pecorine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's either way, you would think that Nashville would have a Jones to knock the Sharks' dick in the dirt, and it just just hasn't happened when it mattered the most. But hey. It's like, hey, you guys own the Sharks for like almost a decade when the games really didn't matter that much.
Yeah, finally get a win.
Yeah.
They would follow it up with one of the worst performances of the season. You want to talk about teams coming out absolutely flat,
dude.
This game against the Blackhawks, I'm glad they're losing, but man, I'm sad that I have to watch this shit. I hate that I even say that, dude, because it's like I'm glad they're losing, but like at this point we know like they're out, so it just all that matters now is lottery ball seeding and all the nonsense that we really didn't have to talk about until this week, which was really nice. I think that's the one thing like from this season that I'm the most appreciative of is like we didn't have to really talk about lottery balls until the last couple of shows.
Yeah. But
right?
the thing about this game that I found so funny, it was like, you know how rare it's been that the Sharks have won the special teams battle and they still lost?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm sorry, but Askarov did not have a good game.
No one did, though. I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, but, you know, every once in a while you need Asky to, like, bail you out, and he did not step up in any way, shape, or form. And to your point of, like, no one having a good night, when the guy that you've just called up, this is his second NHL game of the season, and he's the one who leads the team in ice time?
Yeah. This was a miserable game. This was a miserable watch. I mean, you get goals. I mean, the only good thing, like, obviously, Ferraro gets his 7th of the season. Michael Misa gets on the board for his 8th. But the Sharks, like, they're like, I know the Blackhawks are a fast team, but so are the Sharks. The Sharks should not lose a track meet with the fucking Chicago Blackhawks this year, and that's what happened.
No, I don't know what Koala is smoking. I don't remember saying. I mean, if there's something that I said that about wearing a teal tinted dress of the Shark, I don't have.
That was Jules.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like Jules, not me. So I mean, if you can find the clip, I'm more than happy to listen to it. But I think you might be mistaken.
That I'm pretty sure was Jules. Yeah. So I mean,
I was gonna say I have a feeling that shit would have been like written on the wall behind me the entire season if that was the case. But if you can find the clip,
yeah,
good on you. And none of this AI bullshit.
Right. I mean, they kind of like the Sharks kind of started like with a head full of like just on fire, but then it just like it quickly just fell apart.
Oh, dude, when Ferraro is your like opening goal scorer, at that point you have to be going, all right, what kind of game are we going to see? And, you know, and Celebrini finishes with a -3 as well as Ferraro. Like when you see that, you're like, oh, that must have been a shitty game. But they started well. They held the Blackhawks to 3 shots on goal in the first, and then just fucking collapsed in the third. Bad puck management, turnovers, and they're outshot. And I got it in my notes. In 9 games played up to that point in April, the only game, which was on April 2nd, where the Sharks outshot their opponent, they happened to win it. Or I should say, it happened to win by more than 1 goal, but
because it started, like I said, the game started well enough, but by the end of it, man, I was just like, I'm like, this season needs to be fucking over already. I just need this to end.
Well, and Warsaw's comments at the end of it, I love it. So we got cute. We want it to be easy. This game isn't easy. We gave them the momentum with puck play and soft goals and loose coverage. Yeah. And it makes you go, well, then why isn't the team responding during game 81 of the season?
Right. Rob coming with this $2 super chat. Thank you for her super chat. Helps keep the lights on, keeps us ad free. Asky needs to work on the glove side all summer long. Yeah.
Glove side. He needs to work on not going down too soon. And he needs to work on all of the area above the shoulders. Because a lot of high goals got scored. Didn't let in a lot low, but oh my God, everything felt like went in up high.
Yeah, and I do have some good talk about Asker out there because I have some interesting stats there. The trash goal at the end of the second period flipped the whole game, 100%.
That's what Warsaw said it. So the Renzel goal is where it all started and just circled the drain, and that was it.
Bad goal took the took the wind right out of the sails. The Sharks, they would win the next game by a 6-1 score, pounded on Winnipeg. Chernyshov, Smith, Graf, Misa, Eklund, Celebrini are your goal scorers, which is just, I don't know, kind of just sums up the season.
Dude, I mean, Murderers Row. Literally every goal that was scored in this game is what I was saying is could very well be the top 6 for this team next year.
Mm-hmm.
Provided Eklund doesn't get moved for a defenseman.
Correct. Celebrini would break Jumbo's record. He is now the greatest Shark of all time at 19 years old, which is nice. You know what? And I like that because not only it's good because obviously Macklin Celebrini is the future of the team, but I think it really puts the exclamation point on that this is a new era of Sharks hockey.
Are you gonna come out next year for when they raise the banner for Celebrini?
No, not with the way fuel prices are going.
But it not only breaks Jumbo's record, but slides into second for goals in a season. And
only Jonathan fucking Chichu of all people.
Yeah, like, are you kidding? And it makes you wonder, like, will he break that in the next season or two?
I think so.
I think you would have. I was going to say, imagine he did that with this team. Imagine if he had talent with him. Oh my God! More than just Smith.
Talent on his line, thankfully.
Yeah, but it's like, imagine if he had defense that could get the puck up. Half the time he was bringing the puck out.
Yeah, and Kevin actually bring up a really good point on Askarov here. His poor glove and blocker actually come down to having too wide of base in his ready stance, just because you just become a butterfly blocker, and it naturally causes your arms to come in and hands to drop. And he's 100% right. And this was one of the things with Askarov.
Supposed to have worked on.
Right. But this was like when he was even going back to his draft year, like this is a really smart goalie. And I say it all the time, really smart goalie with really dumb hands.
Yeah, I think sometimes his athleticism makes up for some silliness, but
it does. Oh, and that is a thing, because he's a weird hybrid of like a guy who can rely on blocking, but he does rely a lot on it. I feel like with him this year, he's had to rely a lot more on his athleticism more than his positional play, because the fucking play in front of him is such a tire fire.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But was it the Vancouver game where he comes out of his crease? Better turn the net on its side, and
Yeah.
What the hell? It's so silly. None of that. Like, if you're a goalie, tend the goal.
Yes. Yes.
For the love of Pete. But this Jets game was pretty amazing. When Klingberg has a 3-point night, it's going your way.
It is going your way 100%. William Eklund had a big night here too. 4 points for him. Goal, 3 assists. Klingberg, like you said, 3 points. Will Smith gets a point and gets a nice little pay bump because of it. Which,
I think they said there was a couple people that might have hit some bonuses with this one,
which is fine because the Sharks don't have any cap next year, so they are going to be an overage for next year, but because of their cap situation, it's not going to hurt them. Whereas if they were closer to the cap, it might be a problem. So,
yeah, I think they're okay.
I think they'll be okay though. This game, like, nice way to end the season, right? It was a good way to go out.
Could you imagine if you had to sit on that Blackhawks game all off season and think about that's the way you finished, with a shitting of the bed against one of the worst teams in the league, and instead you just beat the living shit out of a different worst team in the league.
Yeah. It's that, considering all 3 games were on the road, to come out with 2 of 3 wins. I mean, it's nice. Again, it didn't matter. The playoff positioning was decided that they were not going to make it. But after that Chicago game, I mean, it was a nice palate cleanser to have that Jets game to kind of finish on and to come into this show on. Because I think if you reverse those, I don't know if I'd be as chipper as I am right now. Probably would be, because I'm just kind of happy things are done at this point. Like, I'm disappointed they didn't make it, obviously. Not that I think that they would have given Colorado anything, but I don't know, man. Like it just goes back to me where I just wanted them to get that little bit of experience where some of those players, I need some of those players to just get their head kicked in the playoffs. That's what I need. I need it.
Just plain fucking need it.
I just need some players to get their heads kicked in a playoff series, just so they can come back next year and be like, oh, this is the NHL. This is what I have to do.
Yeah. God. Well, either way, I feel as though that, finishing the season on not necessarily a quote unquote high note. I mean, obviously I think what would have made that even better is had it happened at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
That does suck that didn't. That's the one caveat, because I think like that would have been nice for Sharks faithful who have kind of, stuck with them all year.
Well, and stuck with them for the last 6 years.
And especially those that have been around for much, much more time.
So I'm happy that it ended that way, but what is it? It's, don't be sad that it ended, just be thankful that it happened or whatever.
Right.
It's like, yeah. And so, yeah, my whole thing is like, no, I'm kind of glad the season's over. Like we got
burned.
Yeah, we got to see some fun stuff, but and now we can just enjoy, rooting for, if you want to root for a former Shark, there's a couple going around. If you, just want to jump on the bandwagon of whoever Vegas is playing, go ahead. And just enjoy that. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do for the next 6 months, because my baseball team is in the shitter, and so it's like, fuck, I might get a lot done this summer. There's not a lot to watch, but
you two dorks watching any playoff games so far? I have watched all of the playoffs so far, except for what's happening right now, because I'm doing the show.
I have not watched any. It was a busy yesterday and a busy earlier today. The only hockey I have seen is the minute of overtime that occurred just as we were going live when Montreal won. That's all I've seen. But
good deal, man.
All right, stock up, stock down for the week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious. Obviously, when you set a bunch of records, you're going to get stock up. So Celebrini, of course. I think you could make, just because of what happened in that last game, I think you could probably make a case for Eklund.
I was going to say Eklund was definitely on my list. Yep.
Chernyshov, I mean, come on. 4 games played, 5 points, 4 goals, +3, shooting 44%, and half of his goals came on the power play. So you got to enjoy that. Misa, 2 goals, 4 points over 4 games, and 2 of his points came via the power play. So at least you had some. I don't know if that's because Cagnoni came around and all of a sudden the power play started clicking.
It definitely didn't hurt.
Yeah. You got anybody else stock up this week?
I mean, obviously, Macklin for breaking the record, but he's always stock up. He's the perpetual stock up. But I still think it deserves mention that he did break the all-time points record on the team, and that deserves special mention.
Oh, of course. You know what, though? I'm a little, because the Sharks, the marketing machine never sleeps. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that the 115-point puck and the T-shirt and the hat or whatever, I'm surprised that didn't come out a little sooner. Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy the fact that Celebrini waited until the last possible fucking moment. I thought that was great. It was, oh my God, is he going to get it? Is he going to get it? And then it ends up being the last goal of the game.
The season.
Yeah, just so perfect. And last goal of the season, and he score in his first game last year?
Yes.
I thought he scored it. I don't know if it was the first goal of the season, but I know he scored in his first game.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, I got a lot of kick out of that. Okay, stock down. I'm going to bang this drum until shit changes, but Askarov, in your last 5 to finish the season, you put up an 862 save percentage and a 436 goals against. And the last game you played of the season, you were at a 792 save percentage. You let in more goals in one game than Ned did in his final 3 games. So, brother, whoo, that's bad. And then, we've kind of mentioned it time and time again. That fourth line has to do no damage.
Correct.
You don't have to score, but you can't suck. And Goody and Ostapchuk, 5 games, both 0 points, both -3. And I was, we had some good things to say about Ostapchuk a couple weeks ago and expected a little better. I don't know. Maybe Regenda should have been in there, but that's for another episode.
That is for another day.
Oh,
All right,
wait a minute.
so-
Hold on. Tiger saying, we not account for the blue line for ASCII, but we give Ned a pass. When ASCII puts up the same numbers as Ned is with the same people in front of him, yes, he'll get a pass.
Okay, no, I'm going to push back on this, though. I am going to push back on this because he's right. The thing is that when we talk about Ned, is we don't account for the fact that whenever Ned was forced to play any stretch of games,
He was not
without
good.
an Askarov start, it was bad. The reason why Ned looked so good is because he was being used properly, and but one of these guys has to be the starter. Because anytime where Ned had to start a series of you can go back any point in the season,
but
look
hold
where
on.
Ned started a series of games
Over the
and watch
last
the save
2
percentage
weeks,
drop.
but over the last two weeks or whatever, the last 10 games when they've both been healthy, Ned's put up the better numbers.
Yes, but because Ned doesn't start multiple games in a row. Because whenever he does, when you make Ned start 3 or more games in a row,
Yeah, when he's the number one, he collapses.
100%. But
So
I think
if you're going to be the number one, be the number one.
Well, sure, but it's hard to be the number one behind this blue line because if you look at some of the numbers for Askarov, and look at there's definitely there's bad here, right? I mean, you can look at the ticker at the bottom of the screen. I think his goal save above expected is almost -20, not good. His medium danger save percentage is kind of gross. His high danger save percentage, though, for both goalies, is actually surprisingly good. They're both above league average for high danger save shots. The problem is it's volume for these guys. The volume of high danger chances that these goalies face on any given night is among the highest in the league. So the fact that both of them kind of held their head, not super above water, but their save percentage was above league average for high danger save percent. The fact that both of them were able to do that is kind of where I rest my hat. Why I still have faith in Askarov, that I feel like once this blue line gets sorted out, there's a better goalie there. Medium danger save percentage, though, not great. That's something that is a little bit more concerning with Askarov and does give you pause. But the problem is you're right. Askarov is tasked with being the 1A.
Mm-hmm.
Played 47 games this year. Ned played 40 and probably only played 40 because the stretch where Askarov got hurt, where he had to be relied on more. I just think that I think and I'm not trying to take anything away from Nedeljkovic. I think Nedeljkovic came in, he did a job, he did what was asked. He was asked to be a 1B goalie. He's a 1B. What I want to push back on those, because people are like, oh, well, Ned should just be getting all the starts and Ned should be no, because whenever he's been put into that spot, he completely fell apart. And why did he fall apart? Because playing behind this defense a million games in a row is going to wear you down physically. It's going to wear you down mentally. Mike Grier has a lot of work to do to fix this team. And that's why I just, I understand why people are down on Askarov. I understand why you're down on Askarov, but like I think the fact that like November was never going to be sustainable.
Absolutely. But, my point has always been like, I get it. Not every player is going to have an amazing game every time out.
Mhm.
Case in point, earlier that, you had Celebrini with a -3, and then the next game he goes out there and has 3-point night.
Sure.
And so there are going to be highs and lows. And it's just, it felt like ASCII took 40 games and he
Mhm.
said, okay, I'm going to play these 10 in November really, really fucking well. And then the other 30 that are spread among the rest of the season are going to be meh.
But I just think, again, I think playing behind this blue line would have worn anybody down, especially, and Askarov took the workload. Like he was the one that had to take the workload. I think mentally, like playing behind this defense, like I don't know how this guy gets out of bed in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? And like, and that's where I think that's why I think like I understand. Look again, I'm not saying that Askarov was great. I mean, the numbers are on the ticker below. They're not good numbers, but I just think that like we hammer him and give Ned a pass when Ned wasn't tasked with doing what Askarov was tasked to do. You can say, yes, this goalie was better and this goalie wasn't, but it's I don't want to say it's not a fair. It's just it's a little disingenuous because anytime Ned was tasked with playing multiple games in a row, you saw him wear down very, very quickly. And we don't but yet we're like hammering Askarov for wearing down, playing more consistently and behind this defense. That's fair.
That's but I would also counter that, and not that it's ASCII's fault, but I feel like the fan base was kind of sold a bill of goods that, ASCII,
sure. I still think there's a good goalie there. I do. I still believe that there's an excellent goalie there. They just got to fucking help him. They got to put a defense in front of him. Well, because again, you look at what they're, you can say, okay, well, this goalie's doing better, but like the number of the amount of high danger saves that these goalies are forced to make on any given night, the fact that they spend, the Sharks spend so much time per game in their own zone, like it's a big it's going to make every goalie look bad. I don't know what goalie you could put behind this defense who would look better if they had to play consistently. Like I said, again, I'm not taking anything away from Ned because Ned is a 1B. He get tasked to be a 1B and he did it. He was completely serviceable in that role. He was great. He came in and he played the 1B minutes. But I just think that if we switched them around and we made Ned the 1A and Askarov the 1B, we'd be having the same conversation, only reversed.
No, well, we're going to see after next season if we have improvement.
Yeah.
What do you want to do for the season here?
So I was thinking instead, because we had stock up, stock down for the season, but I thought instead of going stock up, stock down, we would do this instead. I'm gonna list a player, and we're both gonna say whether we would buy stock in this player, hold our stock where it is, or immediately sell our stock in said player. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're going to do it in order of points. So Macklin Celebrini, I'm buying all the stock. I am going into
mortgaging my house,
yeah,
to buy more stock.
Yeah, I am breaking into Hasso's office. I'm grabbing his checkbook. I am forging his signature and just handing it to Celebrini and saying, "Okay, fill up the zeros."
Yeah, I thought I saw something on some social media. It was like some blank check that was being guarded, like in some safe room with lasers, and just had to pay to the order of Macklin Celebrini, and it was quite good. But yeah, of course, all the stock.
Tiger. I'm sending Macklin Celebrini to open the Strait of Hormuz. That's how much his stock is up. Yeah, I mean, really, really good. I mean, what can I say? I mean, Macklin Celebrini made this season awesome. He made this team look probably better than it is when we just talk about the defense and how porous it is and how shitty we were to the goalies this year. Macklin Celebrini is a big reason why this team looks better despite all that.
Well, and like I said earlier, there were times where Celebrini was the only one that could get the puck out of the defensive zone, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
So
next, this one I think is gonna be interesting. Is Will Smith?
What are my options? Buy, sell,
or hold?
You know, I feel like he's, he might take a little longer to marinate or acclimate or whatever you want to call it. I think I would. I'm not mortgaging the house, but I think I'd buy a little stock in Will Smith right now.
Yeah, I would be a soft buy. It maybe hold. Here's the thing. I love Will Smith, and I want to stress that I really like this player a lot. Problem is that for a guy who's supposed to be a center, his puck play. I mean, he's not a center. Like, let's put that, but he's supposed to be a center, right? Like, this guy was sold as, he was drafted as a center, and his puck play away from his play away from the puck is atrocious for a guy who's supposed to be a natural center.
Well, I think I said this before, but maybe we see him on the hurdle program.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever. I mean, but with Michael Misa being here and the way Michael Misa played, like, I think he's going to have. He's going to end up being a wing. I just think that, like, I don't know. I like Will Smith. I think he has all the talent in the world, and I think really highly of Will Smith, but like, there's an element to his game that just needs to step up next year. Like, there needs to be a big step next year for Will Smith, because I think he's talented. There's no one's questioning the talent of this kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's winning hockey, and then there's just scoring goals. And I need to see more winning hockey from Will Smith. I hate how cliche that sounds, but it's,
it sounds kind of like you're
challenge me.
Talent,
I'm not challenging. I'm not questioning the talent. I'm questioning the will.
Sure, and that is, what was it? Oh God, what the hell did he do this past week where they caught him on the bench going, "I'm so fucking stupid." I forget what he did, but like, I think he's just, for whatever reason, Celebrini is just wise beyond his years, and I think Smith just, he just needs a couple more years.
I'm saying, like, again, I'm not writing him off. Again, I'm a soft buy here. I need to see just a little bit more, other than just I can put pucks that Macklin feeds me into the net, which is good, and that's an important skill. Don't get me wrong. Many
people are saying
important skill. I just need to see more from the rest of his game.
Well, and before we move on, somebody did bring up the point. For those of you playing at home, Connor McDavid, I feel like, signed a contract that dared the front office of the Oilers to get it done, or I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, brought up to, I forget who broached it. Obviously, Celebrini is going to have the world offered to him, max money, max term. And somebody said, the play here might be to, instead of saying, I want 15 million a year for 8 years, instead of, I think the way they phrased it was, instead of, getting the home run bag now, you get a double bag now. Yeah. for 3 years, and then you get a triple bag 5 years for that. But you give yourself some flexibility, but it also gives you the opportunity to maybe give Mike Grier some flexibility.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so, I'm not saying that Celebrini or Smith need to give the hometown discount, but, my point being is that maybe if you have some flexibility, and if you tell Celebrini, hey, if you only take 14 million instead of 15, I might be able to get you a little more help on the blue line or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll be really interested to see how those two contracts roll down the pipe. Although I did find it a little concerning. There was a quote that came out this week, something about Grier like not being in a rush to get it done. And it's like, sir, you are the only one in San Jose not in a rush to get this done.
I think it's fine. I'm not worried about. I'm not. A lot of people are really worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Again, like there's
I
a lot
don't
of
think
things
that we're worried about it. It's just it's one of those things that is top of the honey-do list, and you just want to scratch it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Bedard is going to be due for his extension as well. That hasn't okay. So then it's also it could be an ego thing. Like maybe they both wait on the other. How much did he get? Because I want to get just a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope I wouldn't see that.
I don't
it sounds like a very Ovechkin thing to do.
I just think like when you look at Macklin and you listen to him talk about things, like I'm not really worried about him. Maybe he does go and break the bank. I don't think he's such a team first guy.
That's what you really have to love about him. But I do think it would be funny, kind of to Rob's point. It would be funny if Celebrini just like didn't even deal with Grier. He just called Hasso directly and said, "Just send me the check. I'll fill it out."
He's not going to do it. He would never do that. Like again, like that's just not the way Celebrini is wired. It's going to get done. There's no rush. He's a controlled asset for one. Like it's not like he's like we're walking him up to unrestricted free agency. There's no real rush to get this done. So I think Grier, like the one thing I always credit Grier for is like he's a straight shooter, man. Like if Grier says something, you should listen because chances are a 99.9% chance that he's just telling you how it is and he's not in a rush. And I believe that.
Yeah, well, and so far there's been one or two little things that Grier has done where I kind of went, all right, we'll see how this happens.
I'm not saying it's been 100% hit rate, but I think he's generally when he says something, he means it.
Yeah, no, that I totally get. And I think I think Grier has put a lot of goodwill out in there showing that when players wanted to be moved, he got them to where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I think when obviously when other players are going to witness that, it's obviously the polar opposite of Vegas, where it's like, well, shit, I better rent instead of buying because who knows how long I'm going to be in Vegas. In fact, you know what? Just give me a hotel room. I don't need a house.
Give me a hotel room. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Alex Wennberg.
This is a tough one. I might be sell on this, and I know he signed an extension, but I feel like, and tell me I'm wrong. I'm not going to say that Misa outplayed him for the 2C because I think Wennberg should be 3C on this team.
Okay.
But for me, it's really hard to. We don't put much stock in plus minus unless they're really big one way or the other, and his was pretty bad.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just kind of
that line though, in his defense, yes, he's minus $1 million. That line starts more in the defensive zone than any other line.
Sure.
That line is tasked with playing some tough fucking minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I buy.
Okay, well then I'll hold, but I'm not buying right now.
I buy because I think the thing is one, he's good, like he's solid. He's a solid guy who you could fit either in your second or third line. I like the fact that he's there because I agree that we could be in a situation next year where Misa overtakes him, but I would rather him have to overtake Wennberg than just be handed the spot.
Absolutely.
And I think that Wennberg is a great guy to have there because I think he had a great season. He's one of the bright spots for this team despite the minus a bajillion. and he's a guy that's going to force a guy like Michael Misa to take the spot. He has to take it. And I think having guys around like that is important.
Fair
And I
point.
like the extension.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the extension. Not at all. That's the other thing that Grier did that I appreciated is that he didn't give out a lot of extensions this year, but the one like Ned Wenberg, like I understood it. I agreed with it.
Yep. And the second best face-off guy on the team.
Yeah, and I'd be interested to know how much better he is in his defensive zone, because to your point, he's taken a lot of them in that area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to say hold.
William Eklund.
I mean, the guy regressed this year. And I just, I sit there and I see Celebrini and Smith and Misa and Chernyshov and who knows what is about to bubble to the surface with the Barracuda if somebody was to, be, a guy who could come in and put up roughly similar numbers. I have to say at this point, I would sell on Eklund because I think that is a key piece that you can move to bring in a good a top 4 defensive piece. When obviously not 1 for 1, but he would be a pretty nice, piece in a deal to get something on this blue line.
Yeah, I really struggled with this one because I do think like when you look at like guys who I was definitely like disappointed with this year, William Eklund was really high on that list when I started kind of doing the notes, which is, last week when we talked about like the article, and I didn't read it, but I was already kind of formulating thoughts for this specific show. And like William Eklund was high on my list of disappointments. I might be a soft sell here. I still love this player. I think that there's talent there. I just wonder if Warren Rosofsky isn't the guy to unlock it.
Yeah, fair point. And I know somebody in the chat was saying sleepy mofo, saying, wasn't fully healthy. I mean, perhaps, obviously doesn't his big money kick in next year? Yeah. So I think that's very kind of shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. And I wanted him to take a big step and he didn't. Yeah. And like, I think that there is talent there. I think that there's 70 to 80 point talent there. And we're really far away from that.
Well, and I don't want to, I know somebody, that he missed some games of injury. He still played 78 games.
Yeah.
So like he didn't miss a lot. And, if you want to look at the points from last year to this year, last year it was 77 games played, 17 goals, 58 points, -7. And this year it was 78. So 1 more game played, 2 fewer goals, 5 fewer points, and he went from a -71 to a -7 to a -31. So that's a step backwards statistically.
It's not good. Like again, I think he didn't have a good season. He definitely, if I'm looking at guys that disappointed me this year, like it is because again, I think and people are in the chat saying like but he battles good on the boards and he does, and look he does a lot of good things, and this is why I still love this player. I still think the world of William Eklund, but there was supposed to be a step this year.
Mm-hmm. And Tiger, we say it a bajillion times. Plus minus isn't the end all be all stat. I get that, but the one time that I will lend it some credence is that if it's really high or really low, and if I'm correct, I thought Eklund had the worst plus minus on this entire team.
He does. Yeah.
So work on that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a soft sell just because like I still think the potential's there. I do wonder if like we can get him on a better line next year, maybe see if, he can find some of that magic. Obviously, like, he was a guy who got kind of bounced around a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if he's
and
out there consistently with like Misa and Chernyshov, sure.
yeah, I think
Or
you could see a difference. I think he was asked to do a different thing. Look, and the point total difference too, and maybe it's not fair because again, he was generally stapled with Wenberg, and they again defensive zone starts and all of that. So,
well, again, you got to give to get, and I think Eklund would be a fantastic piece that will help the Sharks get a defensive player, but we'll see.
Which brings us to Tyler Toffoli, and I'm really sad to say I'm a really hard sell on Tyler Toffoli at this point. I'm a little nervous about the end of this contract.
As am I. I don't know if he's been dealing with injury that hasn't been disclosed. I don't, maybe he needs another sleepover to like get his act together. Maybe get him some milk and cookies. I don't know what the hell's going on. But he, if you remember 7-8 months ago, whatever it was, I was saying, give Tyler the C. Like Uncle Toff should be should be setting the tone and driving the bus. And I could not have been more wrong on that. He is just, Rob
I do wonder, like, I know they did locker room clean out and stuff, and I don't know if guys revealed any stuff they were playing through. I do wonder if there was that factor. I mean, some people are saying he looked like he wasn't himself all year, and I agree he looked like he was himself, but I don't know if that's father time or if that's an injury or whatever. But I mean, just based on, just based on what we got this year, like,
well, at the beginning
about the father time.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the season, he was, chiseled in as top 6 guy.
Yeah.
And, halfway through the season, that was not the case. So, yeah, I'm right with you. I'm going to sell on that. And, when they signed that deal with him, I'm like, look, I like the player.
I like the player. You need guys like him around through this process. Like, I understand, like, I understand why it was signed, and I'm not going to go back and use second, this might look really bad by the end. I mean, it might, but I understand the reason when they did it. Like, it made perfect sense. He's a guy that you want. Like, I think he's been such a good influence on guys like Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith and William Eklund. Like, I think he's a good guy to have around, whatever, but based on just what we got from him this year, performance wise, how slow he looked through large parts of this season, like, it's still a sell for me, man. Like, I understand why you have him on here and why it makes sense to have him, but I don't know. It wasn't good this year.
Yeah, no, Father Time's undefeated. And
Father Time is absolutely undefeated.
Yeah.
Next up, Colin Graff. Again,
I am so by. So by. Yeah. Like, you talk about found money.
Yeah.
Good God, man. No, I'm all good. Look at this Colin Graff all day, all night.
All day, every day, man. I love this kid so much. And again, I think Colin Graff is so great. And I think the reason why I think Colin Graff is great is because he's the kind of player, and this makes people angry, so I just keep repeating it. He's the kind of guy who wins you Stanley Cups on your third line. Yeah.
And he's playing in the top 6 and doesn't look out of place.
No. And that's the thing. He can flex up, which is great. And I'm not saying like he can't play in the top 6. He can, but I think like when you're a fully operational Death Star, this is the depth third line guy that wins you Stanley Cups.
Could not say it enough. But I heard AJ say I'm so by, and I can't unhear it now. But dude, yeah, he is just, that's, oh my God, the only guy on the team that can take a stick to the face in a celebration, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's get into some pain. Dmitry Orlov.
Oh, fuck all the way off.
Yeah. I feel bad because The one thing I do feel bad for Dmitry Orlov is, again, it kind of goes back to just team construction and whatever, and he's asked to be a number one on a team that doesn't have a number one. And I do think that if we could find a number one,
I believe that's called getting Ferraro'd, but go ahead.
Yeah. I feel like if you could put him in a situation where he's not forced to be your number one defenseman, I think that he's a serviceable guy. But I mean, I'm still gonna sell because, like, again, that's what he's asked to do, and he can't do it.
Yeah, nope.
But I do feel like, in his defense, like he is asked to do way more than he ever should have been asked to do. But
fire
who else
sale.
you can ask to do it?
Yep.
Right. Which brings us to John Klingberg.
Rock off.
Also a sell.
Yep. So you're gone.
Big sell. I think John Klingberg comes back. I think, credit to him for coming back from a pretty terrific injury with the hip and everything. But
hey, got his 700th game, and this is. I think, if we're being completely honest, what happened with the Sharks this year was not supposed to happen.
Correct.
They're about 20 points better than so many people predicted. Mm-hmm. And again, that's on Celebrini. That's why Celebrini should get the heart. So they were so past it. And that's why only one defensive piece on this team has a contract beyond July 1st. So, this was not supposed to happen. So Klingberg, bye-bye. I don't understand why Orlov got a second year, but I don't know that he's going to play through all the way through it, but we'll see.
We will see. So Klingberg, I mean, a big sell for me. I think that, again, like this blue line needs a complete overhaul. I don't know how you overhaul it if you're Mike Grier, but I don't Klingberg played 56 games. He was a scratch for most of the end of the season. I don't know how you could justify it.
Yeah, and be honest, if that 700th game wasn't sitting there, if the Winnipeg game would have been, game 652, he's not playing that game.
Yeah. All right, now it's going to get a little interesting. Adam Gaudette. I think I'm a hold.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm not like totally, I don't know. I feel like he's a player that also, I don't want to say got Swiss Army knifed like Graf did, but clearly a bottom six guy. But I kind of go to what you were saying earlier about Graf. He's a guy that I don't mind on the fourth line.
Yeah.
I don't hate him.
Yeah, I'm kind of a hold on Gaudette. I'm not buying stock. I'm not fucking him off at this point. I think you can find a place for him in the lineup going forward. Like, I think he's a guy that I don't know if he doesn't help you, but he doesn't hurt you either. Exactly.
So, I'm fine with that. And, it's a guy you hold on to until somebody makes whether it's a Beasted or a Musty or somebody forces the hand and takes that job.
I think or you just fuck someone else off so you can play.
Yeah.
Mario Ferraro.
See, I'm honestly, because I felt that he was actually deployed correctly, finally, maybe to the detriment of names like Orlov and Klingberg, but the fact that I felt like Ferraro was deployed better, I think I might be a hold with him. It really depends on, what the offer is and because I'm willing to get, because what is Ferraro at this point? Like 26?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
he's 20, he'll be 27 this year, because that's why he's an unrestricted free agent.
Oh, okay.
26, 27. Yeah, he's got to be up there because he's heading to unrestricted free agency. So, but he did start playing really young. Let's find out here.
Yeah. So my thing with him is I wouldn't mind a 2 or 3 year extension for Ferraro. Huh?
27.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind taking, an extension that takes him up to 30. But the thing is, it's got to be 4 or 5 money, not 2, 3 money. So if he wants to stay here and he wants to be part of the solution and all of that, 3 years at, I don't know what's 4 or 5 money, 3 mil, 2.5.
At this point, he's basically what he's making now. Given the cap going up and everything else, like he's probably getting a slight pay raise, probably making 4.
That's, the cap going up is going to help things. That, I think that's what I would talk, like 3x4, like that would be my best offer. But again, and it's, to what you said last week, it's, oh, he's such an amazing shot blocker. Yeah, because he doesn't have the fucking
the
puck.
Never leaves the fucking, yes, the fuck, exactly, never leaves. It's hard because, again, like on its own, in a vacuum, I'm a soft sell, maybe even a hard sell, but nothing exists in a vacuum. And given like someone's coming back on this blue line, it's not going to be Sam Dickinson, Shakir Mukamadulin, and a complete, Luka Cagnoni, Eric Pohlkamp. Maybe it is. That could be fun. But I can't imagine that being the case where it's going to be like, just like the whole blue line is going to be anchored by old man Shakir Mukamadulin at 24.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing that's also kind of nerve wracking is the fact that, Orlov is coming back next year.
Right. Orlov will be back too. Yeah. I honestly, if he got brought back, I would get it.
But the whole thing is, if he gets brought back, which again, I don't have a problem if it's the right term and the right money. Again, anything over 3 years, I would vote no, is if I had a vote. But like 5-6 for the Sharks next year better be Ferraro and Orlov, because they have so much better at 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know where they're getting a 1. I don't know where they're getting a 2.
Yeah, I mean, Mukamadulin, Dickinson, right? You are on the clock.
I don't know. I don't hate Mario Ferraro. I just don't think he's a particularly great defenseman. I don't know, man. Like, if he comes back, like, whatever. But like,
hey, fuck you, man. Didn't he just have a goal this week?
Whatever. I'm worried. Like but I think the thing that concerns me the most about the Sharks re-signing him is they're going to re-sign him at a value that doesn't make sense because of how thin the market is.
Yep.
And at that point, I'm big sell.
Yep.
Like that makes, I don't know. I guess I'm selling Mario Ferraro, man. I'm a sell.
Yeah, I'm a soft hold at this point. But again, I'm not going to judge Mike Grier on what he does with Celebrini or Smith.
No,
I will judge him on what he does with Ferraro. Like, that is going to be a real interesting thing, because if he lets him go, then you're going to have people go, I can't believe you just let him walk. If you knew he was going to, if he wasn't part of the future plans, why didn't you get something for him back at the deadline? So that will be a big deal. But
I don't think so. I think that.
Well, but
I don't think the value's there.
I agree with you, but it's always, you don't let something walk for nothing.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm really, I think a lot of people are going to be eyeballing Grier on how he plays the Ferraro thing. But anyway, I'm a very soft hold. But if Tiger's right, if Mario walks and gets 7 or 8 million, I'm laughing. Oh yeah, of course. But I'm flaccid. I'm so soft in this one.
All right, Michael Misa.
Oh, bye
all day.
Yeah,
bye all fucking day.
And then twice on Sunday.
Yeah. Michael Misa, the way he came on at the second half of the season, just the you can see how intelligent he is. And he's gonna be a Selke guy, man. Like, he's that good. Like, where I think he could be a consistent Selke guy. Maybe he doesn't, because Macklin Celebrini is also there. But like, to me, like, he's so smart. About his game is so mature.
Dude, first world problems.
I know.
But I mean, you look at that core of Misa, Chernyshov, Smith, and Celebrini. It's just like, whoo.
Yeah.
You know, that's the meme from Fridays with the damn, you know.
Yeah.
That's just an embarrassment of riches. So Misa
So
all day.
like,
He just got better as it went on. It's like it seemed like he learned something a little bit more. His game got a little bit better every time. And I'm telling
you see how well he thinks the game. Like he is like, to me, it's like you not only have Celebrini, you have Celebrini Light and Michael Misa.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was second overall, right?
They both think the game at that just ridiculously high level.
He was second overall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, and boy, like when we talk, could you imagine, if whether it's Celebrini Smith, and then your next pair is Misa Cherney, and they get that Saginaw chemistry going, woo, that's good luck.
And that's and it's made here saying once Misa gets strong enough, he's going to be a different. And that's the thing, right? Like he's 19, he's going to grow into that body. And that's the other thing with these kids, right? When you get them into the NHL at a young age, like they still have to grow into their bodies. But I agree. Like I think when he, puts a little more man muscle on him, he's going to be. Dude,
it's going to be fucking Eric Lindros out there.
I don't know what that was, he's going to be great. Philip Kurashev, I think, is an interesting one.
I'm soft sell on that. We did, I don't know how many episodes of this season. Mm-hmm. Did his name come up more than 3 times the entire season? Like he's just not somebody that we really ever talked about.
Yeah, I mean, he was in and out of the lineup a lot. Wasn't a consistent in the lineup guy. Only played 43 games this year. I like Kurashev in spurts.
Yeah, that's not enough for me. Sell.
Yeah, I'm a sell here too. I did like him in spurts, but I do think it was a situation where I think they came in and they had a role kind of set out for him, and then he didn't meet that role, and then had trouble finding a spot otherwise.
Well, and remember Grier. Remember at the beginning of just before the season started, we were like, this team has like 20 forwards. What the fuck are we doing? So I think
forwards and 17 defensemen, and
so I think Kurashev is just like, there's just no room at the end, buddy.
This is going to be another easy one. Igor Chernyshov.
Oh, bye
all day long.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing I love again,
right there, dude. That bye.
You want to talk about, we were talking about earlier, like when Michael Misa gets into his man body, Igor Chernyshov already has a man body, and it's such, and he knows how to use it. And I think that's the thing that I love the most with Igor Chernyshov, and whether he's on a line with Misa or if he's on that top line with Celebrini and Smith, his ability to go in and just bang around in the corners and like muscle people off of pucks. Because I think the reason why it helps, like, again, and this is why, as much as I love Will Smith, we need to get a little more in his game, because Chernyshov on that line made it better because gave 2 guys that could kind of cover for Smith when he's kind of floating a little bit. And it also gives another guy other than Celebrini to go like into the corner and dig out a puck. And I just, man, Igor Chernyshov, I can't say enough good things. Like if he is not on the top line, or at least if he's not on this team in the fall, I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Well, for me, it's like, I think I'm just going to come out and say it. Chernyshov will be the best Igor the Sharks have had in their franchise history.
I love
that. That's high praise when you consider the Igor from the 90s.
Yeah. I love Chernyshov so much, man. He is like, if you talk about guys like that I'm most excited about, I think, like, and this is probably dumb, but I'm more excited about Chernyshov than I am about Michael Misa. And that's probably dumb, but that's just how much I love this fucking player.
I was going to say,
I hold both in very high regard, obviously.
I think they're both very pretty.
They're both very pretty.
They both look nice.
Sam Dickinson.
Just hold on. I just said since they just tied it up, I just had to take a quick look and see. Dickinson. This guy, we talked about a couple other players with this regard. I'm a buy just because he's only fucking 19.
Yeah, I think I do wonder if the Sharks had an option to send him to the Barracuda, which they didn't this year because that part of the CBA isn't in yet. I wonder how much time he would have spent on the Barracuda should he have been allowed to go there. And I think that probably would have been better for him. But
Completely
I think
agree.
being on the Sharks was better for his development than being on the London Knights again, on a weaker London Knights team. It's one of those players, like, you always kind of bump up to these players where it's kind of a rock and a hard place. And I don't think it's the case for all players of this age group, where it's like, yeah, you're probably don't have much to gain from playing another season of junior, but like the NHL, maybe not too. I think that he's going to be fine. Obviously, I think, yeah, there was hiccups this year, but again, it's a hard jump to go from playing junior hockey right into the NHL. Not a lot of guys can do it well.
Well, we talked
and
about.
I think he also got fucked kind of by the fact that every other team seems to want to play their rookies, but San Jose handles theirs with the fucking most delicate kid gloves on the planet.
Yeah. Well, he can go to the AHL next year, right?
Correct. Yes.
So, yeah, you have him there and because again, like we were talking about with Askey, that, he's still young. This is his first season. So, and defensemen are known for taking a couple, a little bit long to marinate.
Right.
So,
yeah, you're buying on potential alone.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not buying for everything you saw this year, but you're buying based on the potential, which is still, in my opinion, off the charts.
Yeah,
right?
He was the one that was taken instead of Ziev, right?
Zeev William, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kiefer Sherwood joined the team late. I'm a buy here. I like what I see, but it's a cautious buy.
Yeah, when this first happened, I was very kind of like, huh? And now that I'm seeing it, I go back to like the idea of, boy, if the Sharks can just find a line of Graf, Wenberg, and Sherwood, it would be amazing. And Buffalo takes the lead. Holy shit.
Love it.
So, yeah, I mean, Sherwood, I think, is a nice middle six guy to have. He can clearly piss off the other team. And, and it's another guy that you need sometimes. But I think there's been a couple times where he also needed to be, you got to pick your spots a little bit better. I thought a couple times some self-control could have been the word of the day. But yeah, I soft buy. Yeah,
I buy, because I think, Kevin in the chat kind of bringing up, like, do you see how much hitting in the playoffs? Definitely buy on short. Yeah. I do worry a little bit about this contract and how it's going to age. Because I still have worries. Like, I love, like, I agree. Like, this guy is going to come out. He's going to hit everything and all of that. And I think the Sharks definitely needed a little bit more of that in the lineup.
Sure.
But I do worry about a guy who had a crazy offensive season this late in his career, and whether that's a flash in the pan or whether that's going to be something going forward. Right. Mm-hmm. So I like it a lot. I do worry about how this contract ages going forward.
Yep.
That brings us to Shakir Mukhamadullin. I'm a hold.
Yeah. Okay. Quit fidgeting. Soft hold, because he's 24. But I think this also goes back to, do we need a different defensive coach? Or, you mentioned it earlier where the vets are held to a different standard. I think Mook sometimes didn't get the opportunity to make a mistake and then atone for it. Mm-hmm. I'm soft hold.
Yeah, I'm a hold. I'm not as enamored with this player as I was previously, but I'm not all the way to sell territory because again, you have to bring guys back. And I do agree that like the thing that bugs me about Muka Madulin is again, he's another big body that doesn't use his body.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
one of the things that frustrate me the most about him. And I'm not saying everyone again, I'm going back and I want like to make clear, I'm not saying everyone has to be Chris Pronger, but it is a contact sport.
yeah, well, yeah, not everybody. Buffalo empty netter.
Nice.
But the other thing is, not everybody can be Mike Rathje. And sometimes Mook gave me, Rathje moments. So, yeah, soft.
I'm a hold. I'm a solid hold. I'm willing to see where this goes going forward. Barclay Goodrow. Fuck right off. Sell. I cannot sell enough stock in Barclay Goodrow.
Yeah,
I need him to be bought out.
And I'll hear the broadcast, and I'll hear Drew talk about all the virtues that Barclay Goodrow is. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have all of those virtues. I'm just saying that I think there are other players on this team that can do the same thing and possibly at a better price point. So, yeah. I
don't know what the hell we're doing with Barclay Goodrow at this point.
Yeah, I'm still like, was a bet lost or something? Like, I still never understood making that happen, but whatevs.
Yeah, I can't. Oh my god. Yeah, we need to buy this contract out. I don't care. Just buy it, please.
Yeah.
I'm never.
How many more years is on that?
One more, but I don't care. Buy it out.
Nice.
I don't care. Just fuck them off already.
Yeah, it's like Goodrow. We have good news and bad news. The good news is we're making the playoffs. The bad news is you aren't.
Yeah, 1 year it's probably fine. It's just I don't know, man. Again, this is a guy who played all 82 games, and it's like, did he deserve to play all 82 games over players that didn't play 82 games were held accountable? Like, I don't understand, right?
Yeah, and that's Warsaw.
Like,
yeah, and it was kind of like, Grier, did you promise Goodrow he was going to get this many? Is that why? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and Sleepy asking here, we can stop for a second, hit the brakes. For someone who has 1 year left, Ala Vlasic, why would you buy them out? Is it for someone to take the roster spot sooner? Yeah, that's in my opinion why you would do it, and that's why Vlasic was bought out. That was a big reason why Vlasic was bought out.
And he was pissy about that, but
sure he was. But then no one signed him, so clearly the Sharks were right.
31 teams were just in line to sign him. So
yeah, all right, so that brings us from Barclay Goodrow to Ty Dellandrea.
Oh, that's another guy.
I don't understand this extension.
That was the extension where I went, why? And I'm going to quote my response. I'm just going to quote myself from the preview show that we did in October, which was, why the fuck is Dellandrea still here? And I have not changed.
There were spurts of decentness from Dellandrea. I know there was a little bit there where we had him stuck up for a few weeks,
but not worth a 2-year extension.
No.
So, no.
Pavel Regenda. This is an interesting one because obviously he's not happy with. He went to the media.
But why? How could he be?
Deployment. I don't know.
See, like, I'm sell just because I feel like I don't know that he's going to get us a decent shot here. Like I would I prefer him over would I take Regenda over Kurashev? Yes. Would I take him over Dellandrea? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I like Regenda. I worry. I'd be a hold. I worry that this is a situation where
the only reason why I'm sell is because I want something good for the player,
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's going to get to go to free agency this year. So it'll be interesting to see if, where he goes and where he ends up. I do wonder if this is a player where we look at him and we go, oh, cool. Like this is and then we're so enamored with this player and then he doesn't catch on anywhere else. And then
Jesus Christ. Boston scored. 6 seconds
Oh.
left. I'm sorry,
Oh,
7.2 seconds. Face off. Goes into the defensive zone for Boston. So now it's finally over. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I feel like what we're like I'm a hold just because like I wouldn't hate him coming back, but I do wonder if it's a player where just like he kind of has a flash in the pan moment in the NHL and then also wanders off into obscurity.
Yeah, to me, or it's going to be that he ends up being, some key piece for some, cup-winning team, right?
He's a lot.
He's going to be fucking Barclay Goodrow of Tampa Bay, But anywho,
all right, Nick Leddy, Sal.
Bye-bye. I mean, not that.
What
not,
more needs
not
to be said here?
not BUY. It's BYE.
Yeah, bye. See you later.
Yeah.
Vinny Desharnais. I am surprisingly a hard fucking buy here.
Not a hard buy, but definitely buy.
I think he is the kind of one. He's a big body. I think he's like, yes, he has shortcomings because of his size. His skating isn't super elite or anything, but Vinny Desharnais can play defense. He was really good at shepherding some of these younger defensemen along, playing with them. He is one of the first guys to go in whenever someone gets fucked with. He is the first guy to go and lay hands on people. And he did it with actually being able to play hockey. Again, Vinny Desharnais is not a number one guy by any stretch of the imagination, but man, you could do a lot worse than a 5'6'7" than Vinny Desharnais.
And the Sharks have.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a big buy for me, man.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of bummed that they lost Liljegren. But well, I mean, considering that like Klingberg, like they couldn't have gotten rid of somebody else. But anyway, who's next?
Yeah. Zach Ostapchuk.
Hold.
Yeah.
I think there's been games where it's been, like, hey, I like what he's bringing to the table. And then there's a couple other times where I go, I'd like to see a little bit more. So I would say hold.
So angry with this guy to start the year, and he totally grew on me. Like he's like quickly becoming again a Ostapchuk is he's not going to light the world on fire, but I think as a fourth line center, I think he's fine. Like he's perfectly serviceable. And that brings us to last but not least, Mr. Ryan Reeves.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, I just saw somebody say, "What if I told you?" I was watching this stream on a Panasonic portable TV from 64. I'd say we must look amazing.
Amazing.
Ryan Reeves. I mean, I'm saying sell as a player, but like buy as somebody to keep around. Like somebody somewhere said assistant director of vibes, but I think his I think his career is done.
I think I think this is Ryan Reeves is a case where I think I think Ryan Reeves is going to go somewhere. Like one, I think he could do TV and be awesome at it.
And Rob just pointed that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could go to TV, be awesome at it. I think he could be an assistant coach too, and be awesome at that.
Potentially, yeah. And I'm just gonna put it out there: the stable of television talent that the Sharks have right now could benefit from a Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, I'm a sell. I think that as much as I like Ryan Reeves, the guy, there's no room for him on this team next year. And bringing him back would be, like someone said it in the chat, it would be an incredibly unserious move by the San Jose Sharks to bring him back.
Well, and that guy could hold on his locker like mission accomplished. Like he gave the guys, particularly, the youth, maybe a little bit of the ability to play with a bit more edge than maybe they thought they were going to. And I think that boosted their confidence. And
I think Ryan Reeves has such a big personality, man. He would destroy in media. Rob, $2 super chat saying, I'd love to see Reeves with Ruzanowski next year. I don't think he's done. I don't think Ryan Reeves is done. I think Ryan Reeves should obviously get to call his own shot. He's played enough games that he gets to call his own shot. Well, I just think as the Sharks go,
how many as the Sharks, he's proven his value, but it's time to move on from that. He was part of the plan, but how many games is he away from 1,000? Because that seemed to be like a big deal, and I'm sure it would be to any player.
Yeah, 100%.
So you want that silver stick, but isn't he like 40 something away?
Yeah, he's 962. It's going to be a tough.
So 38.
Tough. Yeah, he needs 38 games. He's another guy where love the guy, love the person, but Father Time is undefeated, and he is 39.
Yeah, so that's going to be the thing that really is going to be tough. So and I see Rob saying didn't care for Jamal Mayers as a color commentator. I hate to say it, I agree with you. And I know it was talked about on Reddit.
Anytime I get the Sharks feed and fucking it was Jamal Mayers and fucking, I'm so angry.
Finally
get the Sharks feed. Oh, it's Jamal Mayers. Fuck me.
Well, and he evidently has acquired a nickname in certain areas of the socials, where monotone Mayers. Because if you hear him, he seems to be always in a loud environment. He talks at a very high level, but it always stays at the same tone no matter what is happening. Oh my God, this player just did that. You shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, this guy just scored 500 goals in 2 seconds. You don't see that very often. Back to you. It's just very kind of where the voice is lifted and it just stays there. There's no peaks and valleys with Mayers. Enjoyed him as a player. I would rather have Revo on the cast. I think Revo's got a little more inflections.
All right, let's get some fun other news and notes. This is the first season in 30 years where the Sharks have not recorded a single shutout. And again, I remind you, the defense is atrocious.
Yeah. Now, wouldn't it be funny though, is if somebody in the chat said, I nailed Mayer's TV voice. It's exactly like that.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It was good. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the stat that I want to see that sitting somewhere that drives Askarov
it's
to just
weird. It is weird that I don't remember even in some of their
just law. You ask Hockey Jerk, just law of averages. You're going to run into a shutout. You almost have to. You would say it'd be harder not to get one, over the course of a season.
With the Sharks finishing where they did, they have the 9th pick going into the lottery, which is, it's still a top 10 pick. That's not too shabby to consider how close to the playoffs they were, and you still get to draft in the top 10 provided the lottery balls do not fuck you.
Isn't the draft supposed to be somewhat deep this year? It's
a decent draft, yeah.
But it's there's not the generate. I mean, is McKenna considered a Bedard Celebrini type? Because I've been told it's there's not the generational talent in this draft.
I think Gavin McKenna is great, but I do think again, you know how I feel with the generational take. It took me fucking 2 years to decide that Macklin Celebrini was probably a generational guy. I hate how often we throw around generational as to talk about a prospect. I think you can say a guy's going to be fucking great without saying, but I just generational just makes the draft sound more sexy. And I just what Gavin McKenna did in junior was pretty fucking crazy, but it feels like we got again, you can't have multiple generational players in one generation.
True that. I feel like it's a lot of tier 2 guys. There's no tier 1.
Yeah, so it's which is fine. I think the problem is the concern that I have for the Sharks is they really need a blue line guy, and they're going to need some lottery ball help, I think, to get one of the premier blue line guys. I think Gavin McKenna is really good,
but yeah, and I forget who mentioned this. It's a case of just for the giggles. Hypothetically, let's say it all swings back San Jose's way. They win the lottery. They get the number 1 pick. And it's how quickly do you start making phone calls to see if you can actually trade down a couple spots?
Trade down a couple spots to get out of the Gavin McKenna, Ivar Stenberg thing.
Yeah.
I think you just fucking take your defenseman at first. Like there's, if Chase Reed's your guy, you take Chase Reed. If it's Keaton Verhoff, whatever.
But if someone's willing,
but if you can go, but you just got to be careful that no one else is eyeing up those blue liners either, right? Like I do think Gavin McKenna is probably going to be the number 1 pick, so maybe you trade back to 2, but
either way though, like Mike Grier, if every single one of your picks this season at the draft isn't a defenseman, what are we doing here?
Well, I think it's you don't have to go
the best player available, but good God, man, we need some help.
But yeah, I agree. Like I think you go back and you try to get like a Chase Reed or a Keaton Verhoff or one of the other guys that are going to likely go in that range.
Would you trade first overall for Adam Fox? No.
I don't think I would trace first overall for Adam Fox, but I feel like you could get Adam Fox for not first overall.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Like I feel like there's a deal you could do there that doesn't involve the first overall pick to make that happen. It's first overall picks get traded. So first round picks get traded all the time. First overall picks never get traded. And I just feel like you could get Adam Fox if you were that serious about getting Adam Fox. I feel like you could put together a package.
Yeah.
Because look at if New York's going to say no to you and go to somebody else because you won't give them first overall, well, they're not getting first overall from that team either. So in my opinion, no, but if Adam Fox came available, I would move heaven and earth to get him on the Sharks.
Yeah. Like if you want to, if New York will take 9th overall and William Eklund.
Yeah.
So
and then that's the other thing, right? And then obviously the Oilers pick, depending on where they finished in the playoff. Right now it sits at 20, but that's probably going to change.
Yeah,
but it's a nice place to be. I think it's going to be. I think they're going to get some good players. I think that this is the best part about this season is that as good as it looked on paper and as fun as the ride was, to come out and still likely drafting in the top 10,
dude,
you can't get much fucking better than that.
Dude, the fact that we were talking up until last week about playoffs still.
Correct.
And they're in the top 9. Come on.
Yeah. If a forward lands in the Sharks draft spot and their BPA or trade, I don't. If you're drafting at 1, I don't even think there's a BPA at 1 though. To me, I think McKenna's probably the top pick, but I do think in this draft, there's enough of a mushy collection of guys that you could take the guy you want, and maybe there's some quibbles here and there, but I don't think it's going to be at least right now, coming out of the draft, I don't think there's gonna be oh, I can't believe they passed on this guy to get this guy, right? Maybe going down the road, we go back and we look at it with 2020 hindsight. I think that's a possibility, but I think in this draft, especially if you're drafting, if you're drafting in that 9 range, you can take the guy you want, and I don't think you're leaving money on the table drafting the guy that you think is going to help you going forward. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel about it.
All right. I see comments. What do you think about the guys who will most likely be at 9? I absolutely tell you, I have no fucking idea. I don't know about those players.
I've kind of just started poking at it because, again, there's no draft pick. I don't know. I mean, just looking at some the rankings and stuff, if you could get, I know some people have Albert Smith's as low as 9, and I think as low and in that range. And I think that's not a terrible pick for considering this is a guy who went, played in the Worlds, played in the Olympics, at his age, which I think is, again, just playing defense at that age and those things, that's really good. If you're looking, obviously he's a left-hand shot, a right-hand shot kind of in that range, a Daxon Rudolph. I don't think that would be a terrible pick. There's a lot of guys we're definitely going to do. There's going to do, I'm just looking at rankings just off the, just some aggregate rankings here, Kevin. It's not anything super in depth. I'm just saying though, I agree. Like that's really high for Smits. I'm kind of surprised that he was there too. But for me, like the draft stuff is like we're gonna do draft stuff and we're gonna really drill in on it. It's just I haven't done it yet.
Where was it? Because I laughed in my mind. Oh, any chance the Sharks come to their senses and go back to the original logo and jerseys like the Sens and Coyotes? Nah, it's never gonna happen, unfortunately. I'm right there with you. I would love for the Sharks, in a perfect world, the Sharks or hockey at large. You have your home, your away. You have a specialty throwback that you run out. You can change every 3 to 4 seasons, and that's your moneymaker. You do interesting things with that, but you always have. You get 4 or 5 home games a year where it's Throwback Thursday or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you go back to the OG jersey, and it's just 4 times every year. That's what you do. I would love that, but there's a lot of things that I think the NHL should do that they don't want to do. So would it like changing the playoff setup for one?
Right.
Yeah. So
Pohlkamp signed his 2-year LC, starts next year, so he could sign an ATO and play with the Barracuda, but I don't. It doesn't sound like that's going to be a thing.
Well, especially because they said once the NCAA championship was handed out that he had some injury issues. Right. The last thing you want to do is throw him to the Wolves in the AHL and like fuck up, unless if he comes up and comes around and he's like, no, I feel great, I'm good, let's go. You get the Barracuda. I've seen your record over the last 10, 12 games.
Talk about a blue line that needs help.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I would love it, but I mean, if that's going to happen, it needs to happen like tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be like an ATO situation. He could, because his ELC doesn't start till next year. He could sign an ATO and play on the CUDA. Whether he does or not, I don't know.
No.
I have no answers there.
And he plans on going to the yearly equipment sale. I don't know when it is yet. If I can, sure. But I don't know if you've noticed or looked behind me. I'm kind of weaning myself off all the Shark stuff. Like, I have a lot of stuff. If you ask my wife, I don't need anything.
Shark says, "You guys are finished Sharks moments, Seal Time moments, Ian and San Jose moments." Okay, we'll get there. I'm starring this. We'll come back to this.
Yeah,
I have some things to say by the end of this. You want to make some bold predictions?
Well, for next season, I thought it could be fun, because I've seen things on the socials. There seems to be a big push for a couple of things. One is people want a new goal song. Yes. It was nice to hear the whatever. See, that was the thing, is they delivered like 4 different options when they first came out with this, and quite honestly, I don't know that I could really differentiate one from the other.
They were all pretty mediocre.
Yeah. And I didn't, whatever one they settled with, I don't remember the name of it. It's not the most memorable. The other thing that kind of sucks about it is that it has a piece of music and then it has, hey, then it does, 8 bars, and then it's, hey, and then 8 bars, hey. And then, so it's just kind of, and people are saying that many people are saying that the song is completely AI generated. I've heard that it's not completely. So I've heard back and forth things, and everybody has an opinion. So look, I've said it for forever that I thought they should have reached out to like either Y&T or Sammy Hagar, because they're local. And before anybody brings up Metallica, they already asked, and Metallica politely declined. And that was like over a decade ago. but
Mhm.
it would be nice if they could come up with, something a little more memorable. I don't know if it's a case of they don't want to deal with licensing to use a real song or whatever, but it's a little odd that the Sharks would be the only ones that have that problem, because I listen to every other, or when I watch other games and their goal song, I'm like, yep, I know that song, like they all sound like I know them. But I'm going to make a bold prediction, and you're not going to like it. I think I'm going to predict that there will be a new goal song. I'm also going to predict that it's going to be very similar to the one that they currently have. It could be AI generated. It could be, relatively kind of like people aren't going to get, but I think maybe the Sharks will just continue to keep, turning the screws until something lines up and, causes the same reaction that Gary Glitter did. But
I guess I think that it's gonna be one of those things where they just need to and I said this when they did this goal song current thing. They just need to do something and just commit to it and just do it. There's no asking the fans, because once you ask the fans, you're never gonna. I feel like every time they've just decided a thing, like when they decided to go back to Unlimited after all the hoopla last time, they just kind of did it. Everyone was like, yeah, okay, whatever, great. I mean, it ran its course, but there was a lot less anger against it than when anytime the fans have been asked to give their input, then they take way too much ownership over it, and it always ends up being a fucking fiasco.
I really like the comment here. Because if the comment says, since Metallica said no, they should have asked Megadeth. That's very funny.
I saw that.
For anybody who knows the history, that's a very funny comment.
It was a good poll.
Yeah. For me, I'd even consider what? Maybe get rid of, change the song that they come out to and make Seek and Destroy your goal song.
Yeah, but then again, that pisses people off too. I don't know, man. People don't like change. That's the reality. Is people do not like change.
Of course, but at least they would know that, right? I'm still going to die on the hill that I think it would be really cool to do a rock version of Baby Shark. But instead it's Let's Go Sharks. I think that you got 17,000 people going, Let's Go Shark.
Puckeye bring up a really interesting point, though. Is it all about especially in the future, NHL mutes the analysis on goals on Twitter because of the rights issue?
Wait, what? What's happening?
When the NHL posts a highlight and it's playing a licensed song, that gets fucking copyright hit on Twitter. Even though it's fucking NHL and it's the team that paid for the rights, but because of what, you know what I mean? And I think, but he's right. I think this is why teams like the Sharks are kind of testing this kind of license-free stuff, because it doesn't help your sport, right? When you're watching a thing, but you can't hear any of the analysis or anything on it, which I think, I mean, you can, I'm not saying people are dumb. They can't see what's going on in front of their face, but there's often times where color, where the color or the analyst is saying things, and I'm not saying people are stupid, but it adds to the thing. Right? It lets people that are just scrolling through their Twitter and maybe they don't know fuck all about hockey and they see it and they can.
I just want to know why this is a problem now. It wasn't a problem 5 years ago.
Because it's music lawyers. It's lawyers.
So figure it out. Work out a deal.
I know. Well, the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is that we have a fair use doctrine, but everyone gets to ignore it if you have enough money to ignore it, because you can't fight it otherwise, right? And that's the problem.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that fucking comment. But it says, why did they stop using Green Day's Holiday? Honestly, because the reaction was not what they wanted.
Yeah, the fans didn't like it.
Yeah, everybody wants Rock and Roll Part 2, but it's never coming back.
It's never
So,
come back, yeah. Like,
um,
and when they changed it originally, like it was still Rock and Roll Part 2 was still pretty widely used. It's used by so few teams now that the
I don't think
NHL
it's used by
actually has
anybody now. So, I mean, not in
the
hockey.
Colorado Eagles.
Well,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure the Colorado Eagles still use it.
Okay,
but,
so
like, I mean, not NHL.
Yeah, pro big time teams. But that's my bold prediction. Other than that, I don't know that I have anything else. But the other thing that I did see a lot of on the socials, because it comes up regularly, but on Reddit there was a whole thread about getting a new pre and post crew, and it's look. They say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. So we're going to move on to our next segment.
I'm going to say this. I will say this. I just think that, like, again, like, is the current crew great? No. I just think that the format and, like, the fact that we have intermission shows that are there, like, obviously we need to fill time on a broadcast, and I get that. I just feel like it's so irrelevant now, though. Because, like, with information being instantaneous, like, why would you watch intermissions before? Because maybe the second intermission is gonna be the hot stove. We're gonna hear all the big hockey rumors, dude. I have the hockey rumors the second they come out.
Yep.
I don't need to wait for you to tell me on a broadcast, right? And I just, I don't know, man. Like, it's not great, but I think it's just bad across the board. I don't think anyone has a particularly great intermission show anymore. Like,
well, you know what I think
podcasts.
The thing that I think is the issue, and again I think this probably can go for our large number of broadcasts, is like it seems to be, and maybe I'm off base, but I feel like a lot of times when I'm watching the broadcast, it's as though they're catering to somebody who just started watching hockey a week ago. Like, I feel like I'm getting a lot of, like, the just very obvious commentary for anybody who's, like, watched the game for any amount of time. So, it's become my habit to just, I just mute. I don't watch pregame unless something, big happened or whatever, but I don't watch it. Pre and post, I just hit mute. And I go and look at other things, and look at social stuff or whatever, or go watch a different game for a little bit.
Too, I'm sorry to cut you off, but there is a thing that pisses me off, because I do think teaching the game is important.
Yes,
but what pisses me off about, like, the Sharks specifically is, like, they will cater to the fans that, like, they're not teaching the game, right? Oh, you think the referees are biased against the Sharks? Well, that's what they're going to tell you in the fucking intermission show, and that is fucking brutal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Alan Hoshida, instead of being a host, acts like a fan. And I just,
that's that's a good point. That, I never thought of it like that before. That, I think that, that's a problem. He needs to be more problem. Yeah, he needs to be more biased, because
media guy and not
less biased. My bad.
Yeah. Like, and that's what really puts me off with Alan Hoshida, is because he gives a voice to some of the dumbest elements of our fucking fan base.
And it doesn't make sense either, because the Sharks aren't paying his salary. So I don't get it. I did. God, what was the other thing I saw? Somebody pointed out, like, the Sharks need an actual organist, not a damn DJ. All arena and stadium DJs play the same music. I could not agree with you more. Yeah. And that's been something that I've been complaining about for a long time. You don't need to fill every single silence. That drives me crazy.
Saying Brody was never a homer. There was things that Brody Brazil did that know me, like the absolute whining, the endless whining over fucking Tahoe for a game that no one could go to. I remember that being really tiresome. But all in all, Brody, Brody was never. he never basically, like I said, he didn't cater to the worst elements of this fan base and give kind of credence to some of the worst elements of this fan base. And look, and maybe that makes me sound like a really egotistical prick, and because I think I'm so much smarter than everyone else. But I know what a fucking penalty is, at least, and I know that like the penalties are pretty bad across the board. Like it's not like the league is purposely like Gary Bettman's off saying, "How do we fuck the San Jose Sharks this week? Daily ideas now." Like it's not happening.
No, for me, it's sometimes it feels a little patronizing. The other thing, that sometimes they do shit that I don't know, just feels a little forced. And one of the things that they did that drove me or can drive me crazy from time to time is they will do some, on Instagram, they'll do some fan poll that is like designed. It's so obviously designed to get some sort of engagement, which of course, all social media is designed for, right? If you don't, then you're fucking doing it wrong. But
that's it. That's why I don't do it anymore. Because the whole idea is to get engagement, and it's mostly get engagement by being a complete asshole and making people angry. And I don't want to make people angry.
But my thing is they will do a post that is so. Again, it just like, who are you catering this to? Where it'll be like, who do you think was, the player, the MVP of the Sharks this season? It'll be Celebrini, Eklund, Goodrow. And the choices are so fucking obvious. And then when they come back,
Macklin Celebrini,
Gaudette, and
is it Gaudette?
then they come back in the second intermission or at the end of the game, and they're like, and hey, on the sponsored fan poll, we asked the question, who's the best, and 89% of you said the obvious fucking thing. So 11% of you don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just like, sometimes I see stuff like that. And on one hand, I understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're just failing at it at the execution.
Yeah, and Ricky's saying, I don't know why everyone's making a judgment on the people. It's an entertainment product, and Hoshida and Myers are not entertaining, and that's it, right?
I've said it a bajillion times before. The people that do these jobs are probably some of the nicest, most awesome.
Sure Hoshida's super nice.
Yeah, and I've made this analogy before. There are people that think I can be a very nice person. They do not want to hear me DJ because I don't play the kind of music that they like. I get that. Conversely, there are some people who think I'm a fucking asshole, but they love to hear me play because I play the kind of music they like. So, it's like you can do the job and, be an asshole, or some people are just amazing people. They're just not cut out for a particular job. But,
I don't people come away with this thinking like I have it like out for Alan Hashie. I just don't think he's good at his job, and I think he caters to some of the worst elements of our fan base. That's all. That's it. That's all I was trying to say there.
I'm not here to shit on them or dump on them.
Right.
They're doing their best.
I'm sure he's a swell dude. I'm sure
I think they're doing their best.
I think he's.
That being said, I do believe that next season is the last season that the Sharks are contractually obligated to be on NBC.
That's crazy.
So after 14 years, I think it was, they signed like the world's worst deal. So we'll see after next season if they're still there, if they sign a new deal or if they do something else like Anaheim and Dallas. We'll find out.
We will find out. You have in the notes here some stuff from going back up to our original, to the first show of the season, the Pacific Division preview. I'm going to turn over the floor.
I went back and listened to our Pacific Division preview show because I just wanted to see, was there shit that we got right? Was there shit that we got wrong? What, because not everybody gets it 100. If they did, they'd be, a bajillionaire. from betting everything correctly in Vegas. So I went back. One of the things that you had said at the beginning was you thought that Ethan Cardwell was going to take a step up and be the guy. He was not that guy.
So Ethan Cardwell is a really disappointing season from Ethan Cardwell. When I do my little quick stock up, stock down for the Barracuda overall in the year. Now it is important to note that Ethan Cardwell has been injured since February. That is a thing that happened, and he's been out since February. But I really, I mean, he disappointed me this year. I thought he came up, and I don't think he lit the world on fire. I think when you're competing with a lot of other guys for that spot, he got the opportunity early. But he just didn't make the most of it. And then it took him a while to get going on the Barracuda as well. Just a really disappointing, and I hope he comes back healthy, but like next year and really tears it off, because I still really love that player. But man, that I couldn't have been more wrong. And it's one of the things that I think if I look back on the season, it bums me out the most. Like, if you want to look at things that really bum me out this year, Ethan Cardwell really bummed me, because this is a player that I absolutely love. And I think there's an NHL player there.
Alex, I don't see a picture of your smiling face on Twitter. Go ahead and send it to me. Let's see what you're working with, pal. Telling me I got a face for radio. Another thing that we discussed was would somebody be given the C? And as you remember, I was a big proponent to give it to Toff. You were just saying, just give it to Mac already. But I said that somebody would have the C. You said no. You were correct. And I was way fucking wrong, not only about someone having the C, but that it should have gone to Toff. I was way off base on that.
I don't think it was a terrible shout, right? Like, I think look, he was the veteran guy. I understood the argument. I think your argument was sound, right? He was the guy, he was here for a few more years, and then you move it to Celebrini when he's done. I just think Macklin Celebrini's the face of this franchise, and I think he's already such a leader on the team. And he showed so much leadership even in his rookie season, even though it was shortened by injury. Like, but it was a solid argument. Like, I don't think it was the worst shout. And there was a lot of people that were on your side to start the year, so I don't think it was the worst argument. I just think it was not the best argument either.
Okay, that's fair. Now this was fun. We didn't have definitive picks. We're going to do that next time. But for me, I had the Pacific shaking out that Seattle was going to be the worst team, and Vancouver said, "Hold my beer."
Did they ever?
Yeah, but now, to be fair though, at one point I did say laughingly Vancouver would finish 9th in the Pacific. Because fuck Evander Kane. But then I refreshed that saying, I think they'll be 5th. Way off on that one. But the one I was really off on that you nailed was I thought Anaheim was going to not even finish, sniffing the playoffs. I thought there was two things going on there. Plus, I didn't know that if Quenneville was going to be the man or the GOAT. And when I say GOAT, I mean the bad version of the GOAT.
Right.
But that's what I was betting on. But part of that, I had San Jose finishing 6th. And at one point, as we were getting higher up, I even revised that. I'm like, fuck, they could finish 5th if these other teams suck. And goddamn, I came pretty close to it. But the big one is I said Vegas and Edmonton will battle for 1st and 2nd all the way up till the end, and you were very much nope. It's going to be fucking Vegas's the whole time. So that one, I was like, okay, I feel good about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was Anaheim most of the time. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
like I was high on the Ducks, but I wasn't that high on the Ducks. I thought the Ducks would be better. And Vancouver was interesting because, like, you could see it was a very flawed team in Vancouver, right? But because of all the drama and everything else, and you thought, okay, well, let's see what I didn't think they would be good, but I thought without the drama, they wouldn't be as bad as they were, but it turns out they're just a really horribly constructed team, and the drama being gone didn't solve anything. And it's kind of crazy how
Utah has scored.
Vancouver, nice. It's kind of funny how Vancouver and New York, like, they probably made the worst hockey trade of all time, because it burned both teams when they traded for what's his fucking face there.
Well, and the really funny thing about it is, at one point, didn't Vancouver and New York have really, really, really good goaltenders?
Yes. New York still has a really good goaltender. Igor Shesterkin is still one of the best goalies in the league. Thatcher Demko is also a very good goalie when he's healthy, and that's the unfortunate problem with Thatcher Demko is he is never healthy, which is really sad, because I really like Thatcher Demko, but he just can't stay healthy. So yeah.
The other thing I had pointed out in the preview shows, I said, I think LA will be 10 to 13 points worse this season. And I think I missed it by 2 points. I think they were 15 points worse, but it also doesn't help that they've like tied 50 games this season, which was, ridiculous.
The amount of the fact that this team is in the playoffs with how few wins they have is ridiculous. I mean, I'm glad it's against the new opponent. I'm glad we didn't get Edmonton fucking Los Angeles part 17. It's what it feels like. It would be part 5, but it feels like part 17 at this point. So I'm glad at least like they made it and we didn't get that. The only thing, and look, I hate the Kings. I'm a Sharks fan, true teal-blooded Sharks fan. Fuck LA. However, I am glad that Anze Kopitar gets to finish his career in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because again, I LA, but respect.
And I hate to say it, I'm glad California teams are in the playoffs again.
Me too.
Then and this goes to all the people that were burying the Sharks as a bottom 3 team. Last October, as I said, I was Mr. fucking optimism on the show. I said, I think consistent goaltending will get you another 10 wins. And more talent, which would be 20 more points, and more talent up front will give you another 7 or 8 wins. I could see the Sharks hitting 78 to 80 points. And what do they get? 86.
Yeah.
So
I wanted an improvement. I didn't have like a set thing. I didn't think we'd be talking about playoffs until 3 shows before the season ended. Yeah,
I certainly didn't think that, but it just cracks me up when I hear certain people go, nobody thought the Sharks were going to be this good. I'm like, I did. I was like the only one, evidently. And so, and then finally, the one that I thought was absolutely funny when I heard it is just from Ian. I'm going to be very upset if Mario Ferraro is still on this team after the trade deadline. He said that in October.
I did. This was definitely a thing that happened. This was definitely a thing that happened.
Now,
it's fun going back to that.
A lot of people, did bury certain teams, but a lot of these people, they also said the Penguins would finish 30th, or at least they did on The Athletic, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I was really down on the Penguins going into the season. I think the thing about the Penguins, like, is that they made, obviously Ben Kindle goes into the lineup after getting drafted in 11th or whatever, and he's great. Erik Karlsson had a good year, which means that next year is going to be a disaster because that's how Erik Karlsson works. So maybe we're just off by a year.
Is that the final year of his deal?
I think so.
The one that he inherited from the Sharks?
Maybe he is.
And while
one more year, maybe he's gonna have a good year. All right.
We'll see.
Career year, or contract year. So maybe he can bump the good bad, because I feel like that's the way his season has gone. Back and forth. It's been one good, one bad, one good, one bad. So we'll see what he does in a contract year. Maybe you can get 2 good seasons out of him.
They also had the Maple Leafs very high.
Yes.
And we know how that worked out. So,
you know what? I will admit that I was surprised that I knew they weren't going to be as good, but I didn't think that they would be this bad.
Oh, dude. I mean, you talk about epic fucking collapse, and then to hear people say, "Oh man, what about Matthews going to the Sharks?" Fuck you.
But you know what the problem with them is, and this is the cautionary tale, right? Because you always talk about Mike Grier and how he talks about being like, you got to be tough to play against them, tough and tough and tough, and that was the mantra in Toronto. The problem with Toronto was they became fake tough. They're not real tough; they're fake tough. Yeah, they've got a bunch of grinders and guys, but like you watched Austin Matthews get fucking demolished and everyone just stood there like an idiot. They're not a tough team. And I think that is the real crime, was that fans were, because they were tired of obviously the first round exits and everything else. But the fact that they wanted to become more tough and all they got was fake tough instead. And I think that's just delicious irony. You shipped out Mitch Marner, which again, like obviously they had to do something. That core wasn't getting it done. They couldn't get past the first round. But to trade to become not even real tough but fake tough is, I think, the biggest fucking tragedy there. That's
did they not have Ryan Reeves at one point?
Yeah, sure, last year, yeah.
So I mean, you had some tough then. So going to 84 games next season seems like a really good opportunity. Huh?
Yeah, I said not a fan. I mean, I do like that the preseason is going to be shorter. That's nice, but like 84 games, goddamn.
I mean, yeah, that just the sheer amount, I get it, but at least it brings balance. This silliness of, we're going to play these 3 teams in our division 3 times, but these 4 teams 4 times, but
until they expand 4 more teams.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, when is going to be enough? But you would think if they're going to 84 games for the first time since 93, 94, as Puck Guy is saying, wouldn't this be the perfect time to fix the point system and make all games worth the same value?
Yes, I've been saying this for years.
Something needs to change, but as we know, nothing will change as long as Bettman is still here. I do love, though, that Dallas Stars Matt Duchene called out the NHL playoff format recently, arguing the divisional system forces top teams into early matchups and needs to be fixed. And I remember when this was brought up to Bettman, and what did Bettman say? Oh, we really like our opening matchups. It's compelling. 100%. Yeah, it's compelling.
He's not wrong.
Well, he kind of is. And I'm gonna.
He's not wrong in the sense. Let me finish. He's not wrong in the sense that like the first round in hockey is better than any first round in any other sport.
But
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. But I would
still blows.
Well, I would push back that whether it's how it is now with this divisional nonsense, or if they went to the 1 through 8 that everybody wants, like, wouldn't it be just as good? And so let me do some math. First off, Pierre LeBrun ran a poll on this recently. Over 90% of the people who responded want 1 through versus 8. And how is it today? Well, how it is with the current system, Colorado versus LA, and how it should be Colorado versus LA. So that works out. That's fine. Yeah. But what else do we have? We have Dallas versus Minnesota. When the other way it would be Dallas versus Anaheim. Now you can make the argument, well, Dallas versus Minnesota, it's because of the history between the two franchises, of this North Stars. I'll give you that. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm still. But what else would change? Vegas versus Utah. Now it would be Vegas versus Edmonton, which I think is a marquee fucking matchup for the first round. That's huge, especially the way they battled all season going back and forth.
Sure, yeah.
But instead we have Edmonton versus Anaheim.
Which is fine. I think that series is going to be fun.
Well, but either way, the point being
Dallas and Minnesota shouldn't meet in the first round. I agree.
Yes, but if we go to 1 through 8, 3 of 4 change of the matchups, but in the East, all 4 change. And so when 7 of 8 matchup change, that's a fucking, like, we need to fix this. But speaking of playoffs, do you have our brackets?
I have my bracket. I don't have yours, but I have mine.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to go through yours?
Well, let's see. Do I still have it? I think I sent it to Puck Guy, which was stupid. I should have sent it to you. But go ahead, post yours, and I'll just walk through mine. It's no biggie.
All right. So this is in the bracket challenge. In the first round, I have the Avalanche beating the Kings. I don't know why I gave the Kings a game. This should be in 3.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. What? Okay. Why is it not showing me? Oh, this is so stupid. All right. Go ahead. Run through the rest of your Wests while I try to find the bracket that actually shows the games that I took.
Yeah. So I have Colorado going over the Kings in 4 games to 1. And so in 5 games, Colorado's the better team here. I probably a little bit too charitable to LA, to be completely honest here, but I don't know. And I'm giving Anze Kopitar a game. I have the Minnesota Wild beating the Dallas Stars in 7. I think I look at Dallas. I don't know, man. I like the energy from Minnesota a little bit more. Like, I think this is a team that has a lot to prove, and Dallas has played a lot of playoff hockey, right? And I just think it's got to catch up to them at some point. There's also there's a little bit of an injury concern with the Dallas Stars. So I think that's part of it. I have the Vegas Golden Knights beating the Utah Mammoth in 6 games. I just think I would love nothing more than for the Mammoth to roll fucking Vegas. But I just think Vegas is just, there's too much there. I have the Oilers beating the Anaheim Ducks in 5 games. I love the Anaheim. I love what they've done this year, but as much as I love Lucas Stostal, I just think that once, like, we shit on Edmonton all the time, and they always just go because Connor McDavid drags them. So I don't know. I think that the Ducks, I do stand by the fact that the Ducks are also a very putridly defensive team. And I just think that, again, Connor McDavid's going to mess them up. Heading over to the East, I have the Sabres 4 games to 1 over the Bruins. I think a lot of credit to the Bruins for getting into the playoffs. And I think Jeremy Swayman can be an X factor here, but I just love the idea of Buffalo not only making it after all this time, but winning a round. I have the Lightning over the Canadians in 6 games. I don't know why the Lightning keep doing this to me. Again, I think, like, I love Vasilevsky. I still think there's another good playoff run in there. But man, like, this team, this is the one I'm the most concerned about, because I just think that, like, Tampa on paper should be like the team to beat in the East, but like last year they should have been the team to beat in the East too, and then they got knocked out by the Panthers in the first round. And like, if there's anything I'm less confident about, but I feel like if they can get past the Canadians, they should manage to go further. I have the Canes beating the Senators in 6 games. I don't think this is much of a matchup. I probably 2 games for the Senators is probably generous here. And I think Pittsburgh's just a better team than the Flyers. I think that it'll be a short series between them two. And then I have my Stanley Cup final as the Colorado Avalanche, which is probably dumb because President's Trophy teams get bumped early. But I just think I look at the field in the East, and I think I like the Wild, but I don't like them better than the Avalanche. And I don't like anyone from that Pacific bracket. Like, the Avalanche should have a pretty clear coast to the final. And then when you're looking in the East, where I have Tampa probably going too far, but I mean, again, if Tampa can get past, I think Tampa can beat the Sabres. And I think the Carolina Hurricanes, for all the good that they do, this is a team that just doesn't get over the hump, because the way that they play is that they can't elevate their game when the games matter more. They play their game at the same intensity from the beginning to the end of the season. And I think that when they needed to get more, as they get deeper into the playoffs, they never find it. And that's why I can't put them in the Stanley Cup final because I just think they never find that extra gear. And again, I'm probably way too high on the Lightning, but yeah.
All right. And I see a quick one from Tarantula before we get back to your bracket here that said, did you see the recent Fanatics foul up regarding the Utah Mammoth jersey? I haven't seen a foul up regarding a jersey. I saw a t-shirt that had Utah misspelled, you know. what can we say, man? They all continue to make, you know, I've seen some colossal fuck ups from New Era recently, but I digress. Oh, can you put your
Jesper Volstead have a name? Oh yeah, of course I can. Yeah, of course.
Put that back up.
Let me get rid of the ticker here.
Okay, so we agree on half.
Okay.
All right. So, and there's one that we agree spot on.
Okay.
And that is Colorado beating LA 4-1.
Yeah.
That's what I have. Now, in the next one, I think this is probably more recency bias than anything, but I have Dallas beating Minnesota in 6.
Okay.
And it's simply because I feel like Minnesota is just never going to do anything. I don't know what it is. Like, they just let me down time after time after time. So it's like, until you guys show me something, I'm just going to pick your opponent. And it just happens to be Dallas. Here's one that might bake some people's noodles. I have Utah winning in 7.
I hope Utah wins this series, man. I would love nothing more to be wrong about this.
Right. But if you look at the matchup, because again, if you go back to the 1 versus 8 thing, this is a 4-5 matchup. And if you look at the stats, these guys, it's like they are playing a mirror. They are so evenly matched. And so look, at some point, something bad has to happen to Vegas again. And I feel like this would be a great time for it.
I think the thing, too, with Vegas that does give me pauses, obviously, John Tortorella's come in and they've done really, really well. But that schedule is really, really weak.
Yep. So I'm feeling a little bit of mammoth there. So I'm really hoping they are able to pull it off and, you know, break some hearts game 7 in Vegas.
Nice.
For Oilers, Anaheim, we're pretty close. I have, for whatever reason, I'm giving Anaheim 2 games before they get knocked out.
I don't think that's a terrible thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But on the east side, I don't know why, but I have more faith in Boston. I have Buffalo winning, but I have them winning it in 7. And again, it's because I feel like it really just puts the screws to Boston a little bit more, which I enjoy seeing happen. And again, I'm also kind of like, Buffalo hasn't been to the playoffs like since what, the Bush administration? So
yeah, it's been, a whole generation of Sabres fans has never seen a Sabres playoff game, which is crazy,
right? So that's why I'm kind of like God love you, you know, that you're here and everything like that, but like I need to see it. So I think they'll do it, but I don't think it'll be quite the walk that you have it being. But who knows?
I think like Boston getting in is good, and credit to Marcus Sturm for getting the team in. I've been so down on this team. Like this is a team that's on the decline.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it's been a fucking time coming. Now on the flip side, I took the Canadiens in 7.
Nice. I like it, man. I have a bad feeling that after this round, I'm gonna have the "fooled me again" sign with the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning logo beside it.
But I mean, to what you had said earlier, like Tampa has played a lot of hockey over the last few years.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, and Montreal, not so much. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And again, I think this is kind of wishful thinking, but that's where I'm going with that. I don't know why I'm giving Ottawa no respect. I'm saying that is the first sweep of the playoffs.
Oh,
yeah. I have Carolina taking that in 4. And I'm sorry. Well,
I don't think they're going to go away. Crappy team that.
Okay. And then finally, I have the Flyers beating Pittsburgh in 6, just because I don't like Erik Karlsson's face.
Fair.
I
can approve.
We both have the same cup winner, but we have different opponents. You have Tampa. I have Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think Carolina is a terrible shot. I think, I think it was Ricky in the chat saying like they have they definitely have the best path in the Eastern Conference to get there. My concern is just that with Rod Brindamore's system, they just kind of always play the same, and you need to find another gear, and they never seem to do. And I understand why people love Rod Brindamore as a coach, but I just think like this is the best coach that is like, to me, I always kind of I don't think he's a bad coach, but I think he's overrated considering that the Carolina Hurricanes just never get over the fucking line. It's kind of, I mean,
Well, see, I'm just calling my matchup the Burns Bowl. The team Burns used to play for, the team he plays for now. There you go.
That's fair.
So,
I guess we can get to the Barracuda then.
If we must.
We must.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Oh, almost did it twice. Before we get into this here, I do need to I do want to apologize a little bit, because since I've been home, there's been a lot happened since I've been home, but like the Barracuda have kind of been like this thing that I'm like watching games, but it's like it's kind of background noise. I don't think I've given the Barracuda their proper due since I've been home, and that's on me.
Is that because they haven't won?
No, I think it's a lot of things, right? It was the fact that the schedule was compact, so there was a game every single night of the week between the Sharks and the Barracuda, plus Greyhound hockey games on top of that. Like it was a lot, and something had to slip a little bit. And unfortunately, the Barracuda kind of got the slip treatment. So I do want to apologize, because I do think that I don't think I've done them the justice that I think people have come to expect from this show. So I will say I'm sorry for that. That being said, the Barracuda finished their regular season with a 1-2 week. Their record at the end of the season was 40-28, 2-2, good for 84 points, a 5.83 points percentage. They finished 6th in the Pacific Division, just sliding at the end of the year. And this is one of the things where I've kind of just hammered them for losing, and I didn't really talk enough about why they've been losing. And and again, this is just not being as engaged as I probably should be, right? This is their lineup last night. Now, obviously, there's some names there we see that we know, and then there's a lot of names there you're going to be going, who is this guy? What is this blue line? Like, you look at this blue line, especially, like Beck's been around for a while, but he's been an inconsistent guy in the lineup. Hache is like the only semi-regular guy.
It's the only name in that list that I recognize.
Right. So I've been kind of hammering for losing. I've been kind of like picking on the goalies a lot last little week, and again, did I do anyone a favor by not really bringing up that, these guys are kind of dropping like flies at this point? No, probably should have spent a little more time on it. We did talk last week a little bit quickly, I think, in passing about Lucas Carlsson not being there and that not helping, but so I feel like I've done the Barracuda and you as the audience a little bit of a disservice here, and I do apologize for it. Again, it just got to a point where things were just like there was a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, again, like, this is not my job. This is a hobby. So obviously sometimes things have to slip for just good life balance, and the Barracuda kind of slipped with me. I was watching games, but I was watching them on replay, kind of speeding through them, trying to pick out points in the game. So you're obviously you're missing commentary and stuff, and like, if I'd paid more attention to what Nick was saying, I probably could have told you some more things that would have been just better coverage. Yeah. So Ricky's saying, didn't they send Cagnoni and Trini down? They have been sent down. They will join the Barracuda in the playoff push, and they definitely need the bodies. So yeah,
I
this team has
walked by Cagnoni in the concourse last night.
nice. So again, yeah, they've had a really shit go of it, but the injuries have absolutely piled up at the worst possible time for this team, and I don't think I've stressed that enough on previous shows, and that's my bad.
Vegas has tied it.
Son of a bitch.
I'm saying.
So they started the week, they lost to the Firebirds by a 4-1 score. I have the lineup from that game too. This is the lineup I believe against the thing, and it looks, I mean, Colin White's there at least, but you can see how bad this has kind of gotten as far as fresh healthy bodies have gone. Again, so they lose this game. Quentin Musty scores his 20th of the season. Nice getting him to the 20 goal mark. Philip Beestead with the assist on his 35th assist. Laurent Brossoit, not bad, 27 saves on 31 shots. Unfortunately, with that loss, the Barracuda, they lost 9 of their last 10. And their offense has been kind of rough. But again, I think when your blue line is kind of garbage and you don't have a Macklin Celebrini on it, it's hard to generate offense when you can't get anything from your blue line. But yeah, I mean, 5-on-3 was the only goal they scored in this game. Coachella looking pretty good. Obviously, again, Cagnoni gets called up. No Nolan Allen, no Lucas Carlson, no Luca Cagnoni, no Matthias Havlid. Oh, Matthias Havlid, not a big ad, but it's still, you've got a lot of guys on that blue line right now that are getting their first taste of AHL hockey. On the weekend, they'd start the weekend with a 5-2 loss to the Bakersfield Condors. Beestead gets his 22nd of the season there. Hoffman gets his 5th. Again, Laurent Brossoit gets a start. He's fine. 26 saves on 30 shots. 6 straight loss, 10 of 11. Not good. They did finish the season back in San Jose at Tech CU. They got a nice 4-3 victory over the Condors in overtime. Gabe Carrier gets the start in this one. Casper Haltman, and then you got like Sternkovic and Crespo scoring and again, you're probably like, who and who? Crespo got his first AHL goal in the overtime winning. Gabe Carrier was good statistically, 32 saves on 35 shots. The only thing that I continue to have quibbles with Gabe Carrier is that the Barracuda got a lead and he immediately gave it back to lead to the overtime, which I feel like that's been the thing with him all weekend, right? Or with all year. So yeah.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say from being at the game yesterday, the giveaway, like the first 1,500 fans all got Barracuda socks.
Ooh.
And Utah has taken the lead back. 2-1, baby. Hell yeah.
So I think, just a quick stock up season wise. I mean, obviously look at Philip Beestead. To me, again, this is a guy I was so down on to start the season, and he's really grown on me as a player. And I don't know if there's a future on the team here, but there's probably a decent trade chip there. Cam Lund, before he got hurt, was really, really good. I think Laurent Brossoit coming in and stabilizing the goaltending situation was a game changer before the injuries really piled up. Musty, Chernyshov, White, Allen. I mean, Cagnoni, there's a lot of things to like. You got a lot of, going back to what we said earlier about the Barracuda this season it was a lot of by committee. And so there's a lot of guys that really, that everyone committed, like everyone added a little bit to the team and really made them a really good team before the injuries really piled up. Stock down. Jacob Skarek can be completely fucked off. I hope we never see Skarek again. Honestly, it probably won't happen because he'll probably be back next year. But if Gabe Carrier wasn't back next year, I don't think I would shed too many tears. I don't think he's complete stock down, but I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen enough of Gabe Carey, and I don't think there's an NHL goalie there, and I don't really think there's much of an AHL goalie there either. Unfortunately, I like Gabe, but like I don't know. I just feel like if this team's going to be contending next year, which it might get some reinforcements, we'll see. I just think it needs better goaltending. I think there's a reason Laurent Brossoit got brought in. Ethan Cardwell, again, as much as it may be unfair because he did miss half the season with injury, but I just thought what he had to start the season was super disappointing. And it sucks. I love Ethan Cardwell, but he's probably a guy who I would stock down given the season that he had. But I mean, it honestly, like as bad as this stretch has been where the injuries have piled up and they've started losing a ton of games, as bad as that has been, there was way more good in this Barracuda season than last season. Until the injuries piled up, like this is a team that, last year, this was a team that couldn't win more than back-to-back games, and they didn't win back-to-back games, I think, after early January. This year they had way more, they were way more consistently winning games. And
dude, there were a couple stretches where I was like, you would see the Shoresy meme of this team is never going to lose again,
Yeah. So I think I think that like overall, I think the season's been positive for the Barracuda. I think it was a nice, but unfortunately it's completely been undone by injuries, unfortunately. And they've slipped, like I said, they slipped all the way to 6th, which means that they are going to be the road team for the first round series. This is a best of 3 play-in game series that they're going to play against the Henderson Silver Knights. If they can't get some bodies back, they're going to be in tough, even with Cagnoni, even with Chernyshov. I think they're going to be in tough. Those games are all in Henderson. It'll be Wednesday, the 22nd of April at 7 p.m. Pacific. They will play game 2 at Friday on April 24th at 7 p.m. Pacific. And game 3, if necessary, will be next Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So if you have Flow Hockey or anything and you're looking for, Barracuda said something about watching, so stay tuned to their socials as far as like where to watch them go. I look at the way they've ended the season. I look at the injuries. I don't have a ton of hope here, but I thought they were going to get completely destroyed last year and they went to the second round. So,
well, I'm just happy to see that it's against Henderson because I just feel like the Sharks and the Knights franchises don't have enough experience with each other.
Yeah, they're going to be in tough and it really sucks. But yeah,
they backed into this playoff. So, and at least if they would have been able to, maintain some momentum, at least they could have, gotten that playoff, cash from some tickets. But now you gotta go to Henderson, and who the hell wants to go to Henderson, really?
All right, so I want to come back to this from Sharks Last earlier in the show. Do I have any list of Teal Town moments, Sharks moments? Obviously, this season was awesome, right? Like actually getting to go and actually standing at an SAP Center and actually being there. I mean, that's obviously like given everything the Sharks did, but the fact that the Sharks did this in the same season where I actually got to go see some of it in person was really, really cool. Meeting everyone down there was so cool. I don't know. Any highlights for you, AJ?
Well, obviously you coming out was pretty fucking cool, and the fact that like Brody gave us the VIP tour.
Yes.
Who's going to see a lot of the shit that we saw that night if he doesn't help us out. So I thought that was like pretty damn cool.
My favorite thing from that was when we were in the tunnel when the guys were playing soccer. And he's like, Brody's like, just stand here for a minute. You're going to see something really dumb. And then sure enough, like Will Smith is looking like Will Smith and Mac are kind of looking at us like, who the fuck are these guys? And then he gets absolutely beamed with the soccer ball.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, the choice. God, I got Randy's tie from the Pride game. That was cool. God, what, there were definitely, they do an annual event where we get to try out some of the new food options that are going to be rolled out to people. That's always fun. But this season in particular, there were a couple choice items on the menu that were like, like, where do we need to go to get this when the tank is closed, because it was so good.
Right.
God, going to the Sharks had a watch party at Laughing Monk in Felton, which is pretty close to the coast. Where you're talking like, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes from Santa Cruz. And that was the game where they had the watch party. You couldn't have scripted it better. So it's, it's a bunch of people at this Laughing Monk brewery, and it was for the game. It was the comeback against Pittsburgh. And It was so funny to be there when they were down so significantly, and you can see people are going, yeah, make it a double. People were going to start drowning their sorrows. And then to see them come back, and it was just, one goal scored, and it was like, well, hey, at least they tried to make a game of it. And then another goal scores, and you're like, hey, good for them. They're trying, they're trying to fight back. And then, when it ties up, everybody's going, what the fuck is going on? So I would think that is probably like the top moment for the season for me. I thought that, like, to drive all the way out to Felton and then just to have that whole experience, that was, I think, pretty badass. Like, you couldn't have scripted that any better.
Yeah. I think, like, my like game highlight of the year, that Eklund goal against, I think it was Boston, where he
trying to remember
falling backwards.
Oh my God. Yeah. Where he like goes top shelf and he's like Bobby Ord. Yeah. That was took me a minute. Yeah. That was a solid, God, I know there was one other. Well, for me, because I thought it was so goddamn funny when the other night against Vancouver, when Askarov, better knock the net over.
You better knock the net over. Ricky's saying it's too early to call favorite moment. You got to remember the word for the season is a top 10 pick. The peak will be getting a new baby shark. Yeah, it's gonna help you. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's good. I mean, obviously, like I said, like I this season. Going into the season again, like, I didn't expect much. I thought the Sharks would improve in points, but I didn't think it would be enough that we'd be that we'd still be talking about draft picks, maybe not first or second or third overall, but still talking about draft picks. And like, the fact that we got to go most of the year and not talk about draft picks, and like
that we had hope,
and really just and just to be in it. And I love it where, I don't know, man, it's so good. Like, so many positive things from this season, and like, given the previous few seasons before this, like, oh fuck, wait, this was so much better. I mean, being able to go, obviously, increase that significantly, and the fact that they were actually good, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm here and I'm gonna watch them lose 10-0 in person.
Yeah, not seeing back-to-back 10-0 losses or 10-1 losses,
right? No, I mean, it was good. I mean, we saw some good games. We saw that crazy game in Montreal, the overtime win in Winnipeg, and then the St. Louis game wasn't fun, but like, like, all things considered, I think for all the games that we went to down there, I think we watched 5 games, and I think we won 3 and lost 2, and won between the Sharks and the Barracuda. It's not bad.
I was I was feeling well. The other thing is November, when they went like 8-2.
November was stupid good. So
it was like, are you kidding me with this? So that was pretty cool. I will say the other really fun thing about this season, of course, was watching Celebrini in the Olympics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the Olympics, the result of the Olympics wasn't fun, but watching Celebrini go off was good. I look at Puckeye, that this is another good one too. The OT win in mini, where the Sharks were just hemmed in their own zone for like the whole time, and then Matt comes on the ice and just takes it to the other end and scores. That was fun.
Well, there was also a couple times Well, see, I'm trying to remember if I'm conflating last season with this season, but when it comes to laughable moments, I definitely remember once or twice where, it goes to overtime, and the three Sharks players on the ice were like, Klingberg, Gaudette, and Wenberg, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing? That was
And within 30 seconds, the goal was in the San Jose net.
Oh yeah, it was against Edmonton.
It was just, oh my god, and I remember like Warsaw being questioned about it afterwards, and if I remember correctly, his explanation didn't make a whole lot of sense. It seemed to be like, oh well, it's like if we can just keep McDavid off the score sheet, then we can get Celebrini, and they've already scored. It was just like, no, you put your best players out there and have at it. But
yeah, that was against Edmonton, and the problem was that he had gassed Celebrini, and Celebrini couldn't start because he was gassed.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, what my other favorite moment of the season was? It was that one time when Warsaw took a time. Oh wait, that didn't happen either. Never mind.
That never fucking. I was gonna say, when did he take a timeout? That shit never happened. It was all those amazing.
Kevin nailing it. Wenberg, Ferraro, and Liljegren. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, bud. Well, what? I guess I'll see you in October.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see each other for that. Yeah, I mean, going forward. So I do want to take time here just to thank everyone again, because we've done this show for a long time now, and I want to thank you for AJ first, because not only did I slack off on the Barracuda, but you've kind of kept the show notes going in my little melas since I've been back. And I do appreciate that, because that was supposed to be on me this year, and it's been a tricky thing because of like cutting social media. That's been the one downfall, is like, what do we talk about? I don't know what's going on. And so I do thank you, because you weren't supposed to be the one doing that this year, and you've really carried more load than you should have had to end the season. I do want to thank you for that in front of everyone here. The other thing, obviously, to the audience, to all of you guys, again, we don't do this for money. Any money we make goes to keeping the lights on and keeping us ad free, and making sure we have things like the platform we're using and SoundCloud to make sure you have the podcast and everything else. So anything that you're ever super generous to donate, and you donate the most important thing of all, which is your time.
Put up the graphic, dude.
Which one?
The guy from Pulp Fiction.
Oh yes. Okay, let me find it. Give us funny pitch. This is the best. Oh my god. The silliest.
Venmo, motherfucker. Do you use it? Oh,
but
man.
Let me get rid of that for a second. But again, like the one thing you give us most is your time. Like, this show has already been almost 3 hours. We've had some pretty long marathon shows, even though we always say our season. We can get up to 90 minutes. This would be really good. And then we do like the 3-hour shows. And the fact that it's been 3 hours and a lot of people are still here watching after all this. I mean, you have a finite number of time on this earth, and the fact that you spend any of it on clowns like us is, I can't ever express how grateful I am for that. So
we are the only podcast grateful for their viewers. Everyone else is all, they don't care.
Everyone else hates you people, man. It's good. Yeah, let's get that out there. Yeah, so again, I just I really appreciate you guys being here. I mean, without you guys, like this, I don't know how we would have continued this long, how long we've been doing this now without the support that you guys bring. So I just want you guys to know it's something that I've never taken for granted. I'm always super appreciative, and I hope you continue to support the show.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't say anything. I'm very thankful that you took over the role, because I was burnt. You can only work with Hockey Jerk for so long before. No, I'm kidding.
But I get it though, because I'm completely I will be back. Like, obviously, look at playoffs are happening, drafts coming up. Like, there's gonna be content. I'm gonna be a part of it, but I am taking a slight break, because I'm really looking forward to next Sunday and not having to.
Yep.
Be here. And that sounds horrible after everything I just said, but like, it's just. Sometimes you need the battery to recharge a little.
Absolutely. Now, all that being said, if Utah and Vegas goes to Game 7, perhaps a live watch party may
Maybe.
may have to happen. But
Yeah, I don't want to plan content that I haven't talked to other people about doing yet. I don't know what Barracuda coverage is going to look like. Obviously, it's too late for me to do it during the week. Maybe after we'll see how I'm feeling Friday. Maybe Friday is no good. If they go to Game 3, maybe we'll do something then.
Yeah, if they get bounced in 2, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna try and do something, obviously, but I'm not promising content for people I'm not promising content that other people are gonna have to do.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see next Sunday if the Barracuda are in Game 3. Maybe we'll do something then. But other than that, the next thing I'm hoping that I'll be doing is more helping with the draft stuff and whatnot.
I was gonna say
recharge.
Maybe if Colorado does go to the final and it's looking, maybe it's looking good, and maybe we have to do a watch party for the clinching game, just to hey, congrats to Brent Burns. That
yeah, man. Yeah.
The guy certainly is a fucking Iron Man. I mean, to play over 1,000 straight games, just to play 1,000 games, but 1,000 straight games. Holy
it's
crap.
Insane.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable. The deal with the devil he must have made. No,
it only cost him his entire front grill.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that the next big thing we do is when we're trying to decide who we think the Sharks will take with the top pick, because they have won the lottery.
Yeah. So obviously, we'll be back next year to get this going again.
I don't know if Alex will be allowed to watch us, but the rest of you, absolutely. Mr. Face for Radio.
No, man. All right. Any other final thoughts here before I shut this down? Like I said, it's almost been 3 hours. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, no, I feel you. No, I just, again, echoing your thoughts. We obviously appreciate anybody who spends the time to watch, to give the show a thumbs up, to tell other people about it, and to take the time to comment. I mean, it's just very cool. And we, certainly appreciate the time, and we will, be back in some way, shape, or form. You may not see me until October. You may see me in a week and a half.
That's how I feel right now. It's like you might not see me till the draft, but you might see me maybe next Sunday if there's a post Barracuda thing that I might do. Who knows?
I was going to say a Barracuda thing. I will tell you this right now. I will do a live watch party if Utah goes up 3-0 in this series.
Yeah,
and I will do it wearing a Mammoth jersey.
Yes. And again, Alex, get you a second here. May 5th is the draft lottery show, so obviously we'll be doing that. I'll probably jump on for that.
Wait, May 5th?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Cinco de Mayo for San Jose? I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Cinco de Mayo this year is so San Jose that it actually falls on Taco Tuesday. This is some Illuminati shit right here. The Sharks are getting the fucking lottery. They're winning that shit.
Here we go.
Come on.
You're here first. Alex, think awesome meeting you in San Jose after the Blues game. Yeah, man. Again, if anyone who I appreciate everyone who took the time to come when I was there and made a point to come say hello, and that was really, really awesome. It was such a cool trip, and it's something that it'd be hard. This year is going to be, aside from a Stanley Cup, this year is going to be hard to top as far as the way things went.
I'm just happy for all the times that I heard you were going to come. You came.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. All right. In case you missed this or you want to watch this again, you can find us everywhere on tealtownusa.com. You can find us on YouTube, obviously, Tealtown USA. If you like this, but you think, man, I would just rather listen to this on my phone, good news, we're a podcast. You can find us anywhere you get your audio. again, supporting the show. If you like what you saw today, hit the like button. If you are new here and you liked what you saw, hit the like button and the subscribe button. That way you can, have us pop up in your feed. And if you want to get really, 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 really hardcore about things, hit the bell. You'll be notified whenever we go live. When do we go live? We go live after every San Jose Sharks game. We go live every Sunday during the regular season. Obviously, this is the last one for the season, but normally we go live every Sunday for our weekend review, the Pucknologists, which is what you're watching right now. And we go live when news breaks. We try and fix it. So if these things sound like you want to be notified whenever we go live, hit the bell. You'll be notified. That's how it works. Again,
if you want a new Sharks goal song, you will hit the like button and subscribe button right now.
Correct. And if you are watching this after the fact and you want to have your say, leave a comment. I generally respond to comments when appropriate. I always read the comments after every one of these shows. Again, we thank you for sticking with us all season. I'm looking really forward to being back and doing this again next season. And again, thank you from the bottom of my cold robot dead heart. Good night.